Hello! Hello, everyone. We are live. It is Friday. Welcome to our weekly Cancel Shawn Boston stream. I'm happy to see some people in the chat. Welcome, everyone. For those of you guys who are new to the stream, what we do is every Friday, the two of us get together to work on a novel that we're writing collaboratively. Every week it
Tell her.
Every week
What
it
we do,
alternates whose channel we're on. So this week we're on my channel.
Preach.
Last week we were on RK's channel.
Shout out from the mountaintop steps.
We are writing a novel together called Cancel Shawn Boston, which is a new adult contemporary romance for the social distancing age. We're writing an alternate POV novel together, and we're going to do it for NaNoWriMo. So while we've been on the stream, we've been trying out all kinds of different outlining techniques and all kinds of different like character development techniques. So far we've done 2 full outlines of the novel, and we have done character worksheets and like developed the character backstories for the 3 main characters and the 2 main side characters. So we've got all of that done already. And mainly we just need to get ourselves in a position where when it's time for NaNoWriMo, we're going to be, because we're going to live stream, y'all, we're live streaming the whole process of this novel from the first outline and brainstorm the idea all the way until we publish it, like until it releases, which is going to be in May 2021. So we're going to be live streaming for the whole thing. So during NaNoWriMo, we're going to live stream every day. And during every day, we are going to write like 1,000 words each of this novel live in front of you. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. So before we get into whatever we're doing today, which I don't know what that is yet, let's check. I actually monetized this stream, so hopefully no one's going to put a Sharpie in their butt on the stream. None of that. Let's say hello. All right, Christina's here with Let's Go. Spence is here. Hello, Spence. Connor's here. Hello, Connor. Connor has become a regular on the sleepover stream. I appreciate that. Very Bad Books is here. Hello. Maya is here. Hello, Maya. Okay, Weird is here. Danica is here. Guys, Danica on Wednesday on the AuthorTube sleepover stream, she was writing so many words.
Like insane. 800 was a bad sprint for her.
We would do like a 20-minute sprint. She'd come back and be like, I only got 800 words that sprint. And we'd be like, excuse me? You only, what? Megan's here. Hello, Megan. Bonnie's here. Hello, Bonnie. Christy, I'll keep my composure for your monetization.
Just as a heads up and a disclaimer, y'all, if it looks like my video fucking effing sucks, and if it looks like, see how I censored myself right there? And
it's okay. You can swear past the first minute if you're monetized. You can't swear in the first minute. You can swear after the first minute.
Well, my old ass computer is really stressing itself right now, so that's why it might. Oh my God, Bonnie is just the greatest.
Bonnie, thank you so much. Thank you. You are the best. Thank you. I don't know how to express my gratitude. Thank you so much.
Express it like Rachel does. Rachel Hollis.
Rachel express? How does she do it?
I don't know. I was hoping you would. I was hoping if I gave you a setup, you'd deliver a punchline.
Oh man, I'm not good at improv. I should have been like, yes, and.
Yes, and?
Yeah, yes.
Yes, and?
I don't know.
Are you defending me right now?
Well, that's what Rachel was saying, right? Was you need to sand people down before you can build them up again.
Damn.
Y'all,
that sounds manipulative as heck. See how I'm censoring myself, even though I know we can swear?
So, I premiered my new video this morning about Rachel Hollis's free course that I took, and during it, she spent like 5 whole minutes going on this tangent, doing an analogy about, imagine you have a bathroom that's painted an ugly shade of green, and then you paint off-white over that shade of green, and then the ugly green paint starts bubbling back out and breaking through the wall. And I was like that's avocado. Scary. Yeah. And she was like, it's because you didn't sand down the old paint first. And then she was like, "That's what we have to do. If we haven't overcome our pain, we can't rebuild our life." And I was like, I don't want Rachel to stand me down. I like having skin.
Yeah, she also hit you with the Life Happens 2 and Life Happens 4.
Y'all, she had all the classics in that one. She had the Life Happens to You. She had a little bit of plagiarism. She plagiarized her own husband, who she kind of insinuated had already plagiarized someone else.
Just a little bit.
Oh man, it was wild, dude. That video's up on my channel.
A little bit of
that. Sharon Wrights is here. Hello, Sharon. Glad you're here. Oh, Spence is baking. I love it. Sage is here. Hello, Sage.
Sage, also known as the main character of, I forgot the title of the fanfiction I'm working on, with the pen name Unicorn.
Just call it Big Dick Energy.
Big Dick Energy. Yeah, I should probably change the name of it to BDE Sage.
Okay, Weird says, nice wholesome stream with cinnamon rolls and organic herbal tea. That sounds lovely.
Yeah, I feel like I'm going to get banned for drinking the chemicals in this diet Sprite now. Oh, you're going to sip off with me. Okay, I'll sip again too. Oh, you're going to sip again? Okay, I see how it is. Not about to chug this. I'm about to drink water.
That is no way to drink coffee.
That is how you effing win a sprint, folks. That is how you effing win a sprint. I'm censoring myself like crazy.
A drinking waterfall at some point, like with some
get hydrated with Savvy and RK.
Tonight on Fanfiction Friday on RK's channel.
That's so what we should do. We should get hydrated, get dehydrated. They can be back-to-back streams.
There we go.
You have to drink 8 cups of water in the first stream.
Y'all are ready to 11 Central, midnight Eastern. Head over to RK's channel because he will be hosting Fanfiction Friday. It's going to be great. I'm going to be writing more of my Degrassi fanfic.
Are y'all effing ready for this title right here? I think I'm getting really good at understanding YouTube's algorithm with my titles. Let me pull this up real quick. Because seriously, guys, this title is no effing joke. It's no effing joke. Let me just pull it up real quick.
You're totally allowed to swear. It's okay.
I know I'm in the censor mood right now, so we're good to go. Okay, here's the title. Fanfiction Friday, folks. XXX. Not safe for work. Not clickbait. Or no. Fanfiction. Here we go. I was trying to do it off memory. Fanfiction Friday, folks. XXX. Not clickbait. NSFW. Parentheses. Maybe. Line. Free money. Boobs.
Beautiful. Your censorship makes you sound like Ben Shapiro.
Listen, guys.
You're like
P word.
You effing with some wet ass P word.
Should we like pump ourselves up with some Ben Shapiro rap real quick?
We can pump ourselves. Well, I don't want Ben. Do you think Ben Shapiro will demonetize me?
Yes, 2,000,000%. He'll claim it. He'll be like, yeah, like, excellent.
I've already resigned myself to the fact that my next weekend's video that I'm going to put out about Abby is going to get demonetized just because of how the topics I cover in it. So I don't need Ben to demonetize me right now. Well, I do talk about P word in the video.
Just imagine all that money you're going to make for them, which is going to get pumped into their platform of propaganda.
I think YouTube will just straight up demonetize it. I don't think they'll claim it.
Is that what the P in P word stands for? Wet ass propaganda?
Yes, it stands for propaganda. Ben doesn't like saying that P word because he doesn't want to admit that he likes it.
He loves the P word. No wonder his P word is never wet.
Because it's propaganda.
The most dry propaganda ever. Yeah.
If you got propaganda wet, especially if it was like flyers, it would just fall apart.
Absolutely. And in fact, the worst thing you can do to
propaganda,
propaganda
or if it was like a propaganda
like
film or like video, you can't pour
just
water
ruin
on electronic media. Yeah.
Keep your propaganda dry, folks. What the fuck? Shit. Okay, I can swear now. I broke the fucking censor.
Oh wait, Connor has his power back! Yay! Congratulations,
oh shit! I'm
Connor.
happy to hear that because you were on like 11 days, weren't you?
That was wild. Awesome. Some great comments. Thank you all. Oh, Nikki's here. Yay. Thank you all for being here. I love this. Eva says, get hydrated.
Eva just understands
Perfect.
branding so well.
Oh, yeah.
I'm getting really
All right,
insecure
y'all.
lately with my face.
About
Like I feel like
what's
my
wrong with your
mouth is
face?
crooked. I feel like it's crooked. Like I feel like it's this way crooked a little bit.
You have Bell's palsy?
No.
Oh, well then your mouth's probably just fine.
It's not. It's like been multiple. Like it's not like it's just today. It's been just something I've been noticing lately. That I feel like I just don't have a symmetrical face.
It's interesting. Well, your face seems fine to me, so.
Thank you, Eva. I'm not saying anything bad.
Oh man.
I mean, how many people in fiction have a crooked smile and it just fucking works? Flash this crooked smile. God, Eva's trying to back me down right now.
Okay, so cancel Shawn Boston.
Love y'all.
Okay, so we have fully developed Shawn, Rick, Lindsay, Athena, Jeannie. We haven't developed any of it. Oh my god, Athena. I don't think we can look at that again. We were so awful to Athena.
Poor Athena. I mean, honestly, I think the worst person we were to was Rick, but then we fixed him up real good.
We gave Rick a huge dick, so.
And by we, I mean me. I was horrible to Rick when we were working on him.
You were horrible to Rick. You were every time you were just like, Rick is a loser. Wow, Rick is such a big loser. I can't believe how much of a loser Rick is.
Is it okay if you do the exercises on your computer because mine is so slow today?
Oh, sure. Yeah, I have Story Planner up right here.
Thank you, Christina. You're beautiful.
Oh, perfect, because my spine is asymmetrical. I have a twisted up spine, so my whole body's asymmetrical. So I appreciate that.
I would say you meet the
Sage says you meet the definition of fine. I love it. Yeah, people definitely still say fine.
People absolutely.
But you have to have the right inflection because if so, like it's hard to convey over text because it would be
fine is hot.
Yeah,
fine is shitty.
Yeah, it'd be like, oh, you're fine, or yeah, it's all about the inflection.
Fine, oof, that hits. Yeah, exactly. Eva. Rights gets it.
It's Eva.
Rights is right. Eva. Rights is not wrong. Rights is not left. Thank you.
Do we want to do a character? Oh, wait. We haven't done any setting outlines.
Oh, shish. Ooh, the detail plan or the short plan?
Well, because here's the thing, like...
Detail plan is 90 minutes.
I guess, theoretically, we don't need to do extreme world building because, like, it's in the real world, but we do want to make sure all the settings are descriptive. Even though a lot of this is going to take place online, we need to make sure we have a full understanding of the bar where Rick works and Rick's weird apartment with his grandpa where he drums in the basement.
What posters did he have on in the background when he was trying to jerk off on Omega to Jeannie?
Oh, Sage is flirting with everyone. Dude, I get that. I feel like I flirt with everyone constantly. I've just accepted that. If anyone's like savvy, I feel like you're flirting with me and it's weird, just let me know and I will just adjust my approach to talking. It's
we
just,
don't flirt.
I feel like me. Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I feel like I flirt with everyone though.
I don't think we've ever come close.
That's true. That's true. We're good. We're good.
Yeah. Shout out Savsicle. Let's dive into this. What do we got going on right here? Describing your settings, your novel settings, world building detailed plan. Maybe describing your settings or your novel settings would make sense because I don't think we need a world build.
Yeah. Okay, let's try.
Let's do it describing your settings because that's 45 minutes and challenging.
This one.
And it's a developed idea.
Challenging. All right, we've got this. We've got this.
I want Sako to do a review of the paid version of this already because I'm interested.
Oh, yeah. Sako has the paid version, yeah?
Yeah, and she loves it. And I would love to have a full review by her of this.
Yeah. No, I think that would be great because I'm like, I don't pay for anything. Oh wait, how much does it cost to paid version?
I was thinking about paying for Book Brush or whatever it is, the thing that Jenna is sponsored by for promotional
Oh
book
yeah,
material.
I DM'd Jenna before I got Book Brush because she had a code where you could get all of these free instant mock-ups. So see if you can get a code from her. She might say it in a few of her videos too.
I think she does say it in
Um,
her videos. I just forgot which ones because
yeah. So definitely get the code. Sage says, "OMG, Savvy, I have an update. Object has not only. Oh, Sage has been flirting with somebody. Is Mr.
okay,
Sage cool with that?
honestly,
If he
instead of the
is, then
stream,
great.
I was gonna say instead of the stream on writing, we should just have Sage come on and give the juicy details of their flirting.
Yeah, just have Sage's interpersonal drama. Have it be
that would be better.
Oh my god, yeah, we could do something like that. That'd be great. I'm just
Sage, you want
curious
to
how
come
much
on
this
and like,
costs.
do you want to come on and just share your deepest, darkest secrets with the world while we write a book in the background?
Wait, I have to log in to know how much this costs. I want to know how. I just want to know how much it costs.
That's so rude.
How much does Story Planner cost?
Shake that ash for me. Shake that ash for me on the blunt. Shake that ash for me. Shake that ash for me. Shake it off. Shake that ash for me.
It's $15 for 3 months or $40 for a year. Oh, that's not too bad.
That's really not bad at all. If like, because
I hate when people do this. That's
of...
$333 a month, less than a decent. Like, you don't need to tell me how much $333. I know how much $1 is. Okay, like
also a fucking decent cup of coffee is.
That's not less than a decent cup of coffee. You can get a very good cup of coffee, especially like you can get like a nice pour over from like a nice coffee brewery for like, I don't know, for like $2.80.
Dude,
if
you
you're
can
gonna
go
do
to
nice
McDonald's and just get $1 coffee. Like, it's not like they have shitty coffee over there. It's fine.
Oh no, yeah, but seriously, if you're paying more than $3.33 for a cup of coffee, that's because it's like a latte, like a craft cocktail like version of a coffee, essentially.
Or it's just Starbucks being Starbucks.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That too.
Anyway, so Sage has some turmoil going on. We love you, Sage. And by turmoil, I mean awesomeness. I don't know if it's awesome or not.
Yeah, Sage, update us when you can, but just guys, I feel bad. I deleted the drunk text Discord.
What?
I was incredibly drunk when I deleted it. I made it drunk. I sent all my messages in it drunk, and then I deleted it drunk.
That's actually pretty fulfilling, I must say.
Yeah, so I think I'm gonna make a new Discord that's gonna be like just like a community thing, because people who watch my YouTube channel have asked me if I have Discord and stuff. So I might just make one as a community thing and then have channels that are like, in this one we'll talk about Degrassi, and this one we'll talk about Avatar, just because that's pretty much what everyone was talking about in the Discord anyway. In this one we can and I don't want the whole Discord to be NSFW on the off chance that I say something ridiculous when I'm drunk, which is normally
just one channel.
what I do.
Just one channel for drunk NSFW.
Yeah, that's one channel for drunk. And also, like, if I also just want to like drunk text my friends individually, I've realized, because like if I drunk text everyone at once, I'm like, you know, you don't know, like the references won't make sense to everyone. You want to say certain things to certain people.
You get some weird nudes back. Like, not of people.
Oh my god. Well, that was just Steve. I deleted the whatever Steve posted in there because I was like, dude, this is not the place for that. So anyway, I deleted the drunk text Discord while I was drunk, and then my friend texted me and was like, why'd you delete the Discord? I was like, I didn't even realize anyone liked it. I thought people thought it was dumb, but turns out people liked it. So I'll make a new Discord. Don't worry. I'll make a new Discord, guys. I promise. I'm sorry for deleting the drunk text Discord.
Everyone needs a place to go to get messy.
Yeah, that's true.
And you can provide that service for the world. Savvy, entrepreneur, philanthropist, facilitator of messiness.
That's me. Oh, that's a thing. That's a joke I make in this upcoming video I'm working on because I made this video. I filmed it yesterday called "These MLMs Stole My Name." Because there are MLMs called Savvy out there, and it's upsetting to me. And one of them, their tagline was like "simple, clean, savvy," and I was like, "Mm-mm."
Long,
I'm like, I am
dirty,
complex.
savvy.
That's me. I'm like, I am complex, filthy, savvy, and that was my regular thing throughout it. I was like, I am absolutely not simple, clean, and savvy.
Oh, it's simple, clean. Okay, I thought it was short and clean. I was gonna say
No,
short.
it was
Because long makes it so much better. Long, dirty, savvy.
Oh my goodness. Oh my god.
Man, shout out Long Dirty Savvy, everyone. In fact, I want everyone to share this video right now with the hashtag Long Dirty Savvy. Let's get some confused people up here in this chat.
All right. The dude that Sage is flirting with is not a threat to their spouse, which is nice. We always love to see it. Sage
Always
is
love
the
to see
hottest of messes. I don't know. I might be the hottest of messes. We'll
I know I'm
compare.
not.
Maybe we should do like a hot mess face off. Who is the bigger mess, Savvy or Sage?
Y'all should just air all your dirty laundry on here and then just tag James Charles, Shane Dawson, Jeffree Star, Spilty, or Spill Sesh, whatever it is. Every drama channel, just tag them in the description and just,
I mean, there are like 50 different drama channels named Spill or Tea or Spill the Tea or some combination of those. There's like 50 drama channels with those names.
Yeah. Man, that phrasing really just got taken over, didn't it?
It really did. I feel like I blame Shane Dawson.
Yo, fuck Shane Dawson.
Fuck Shawn Boston.
Fuck Shawn Boston, who, by the way, has nothing to do with Shane Dawson, just because they sort of look alike and maybe had similar careers.
They sort of look alike. They have similar careers. They have similar sounding names, but they're incredibly different people.
They're so different, guys. Okay, they're nothing alike. So Shane, if you're watching this,
I will say that I think that Shawn is fairly different from Shane in that Shane Dawson did that massive 180 where he was like, you know, I am a raunchy and inappropriate guy, and then shifted and was like, I am a sweet and kind empath, and I feel your pain. And I'm like, Shane, what did you do? Anyway,
that is quite an impressive shift. Like there was no middle ground either. There was no like, oh my god, I think I slightly feel emotions.
Wait, why can't I click on things? Is this like only a premium plan, or maybe I just? Oh, I can
click. You just can't click on the arrow.
Oh, I can't click the arrow. Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Pounded in the butt by Shawn Boston's big titty goth aesthetic. There we go.
That actually might be a better title than Cancel Shawn Boston, but I think Cancel Shawn Boston.
I think we can put it in the tags. Put it in the tags for the Kindle Unlimited version.
Hashtag Charles. No, Chuck Tingles. Did I just really call him Charles? Did I just go by his proper name? Charles
Tingle. I gotta pee. I'll be right back.
Oh, I have to pee too.
Feel free to talk about the first one.
Okay, guys, so let's just talk about, honestly, let's talk about the universe, because so yesterday was the first day I got back to meditating in 4 days. And so one thing I learned is, yes, meditation does help. It's not permanent, though. I mean, part of the benefits of meditation is the repeated use of it, because I definitely found myself sort of itching back to the negative traits, sort of the I don't know, not the negative traits, but the negative feelings that meditation was sort of helping me with. But when I didn't do it for 4 days, they sort of came back. Now, I assume that the more consistently you do it, the more time you can then take off and have a longer lasting effect. But it definitely requires repeated use and repeated practice if you want those feelings to stay, because I was absolutely struggling this past week. It was a stressful week, and I just did not meditate at all. So obviously the hyper stress of the week added to the stress as well. But yesterday I finally got back into it, and man, my body needed it. What was wild though was I did the Gateway experience on the Monroe Institute's page on YouTube, and I got so deep into this sort of floating sensation and tingling sensation, because the best way I describe meditation with me, specifically when I get into a deep state, is it's really hitting a hard indica that just puts you in the couch and makes you sort of float. But mind just completely cleared. You feel fucking incredible. But it had been so long, I wasn't used to it. I actually was, I did that holding a breath, or take a breath you didn't realize you were holding, or releasing a breath you didn't realize you were holding, that cliche from YA. That happened to me while meditating. Like, next thing I know, I just like started coughing and didn't realize I was holding my breath. And I broke out of the meditation like 10 minutes early. And at that time, my dog came into my room and just started licking me. So I struggled to finish the final 10 minutes of it. But man, I fucking needed it. Yeah, Bonnie, I highly recommend doing it. It's a incredible sensation. Savvy's back. Savvy's trying to entertain the crowd while I pee.
Okay, cool. Everyone's got to pee today because we've all had too much coffee. Okay, so we've got over here. I absolutely refuse to fuck Shane Dawson. I'm not gonna lie, but I was one of those bitches who back in the day was like, oh, Shane Dawson's cute, I'd bang him. But now I'm like, now that I've learned how he's behaved, and I'm just like, ew, I'm really grossed out by him now. It's one of those things, I think, where it's like people are more attractive or less attractive depending on the way they act. And I think that's a thing. I don't know if it's a thing for everybody, but it's like, you know, if someone's really kind and funny and sweet, they become much cuter to me. And if they are a huge dick, they start to become really ugly. So Shane Dawson looks gross to me now. Awesome. Okay, so we are going to work on setting today. Think about the big picture of the place. Oh my God, I'm so hungry. I'll have to figure that out later. Think about the big picture of the place where your novel is set, the county, country, or world. Okay, so our novel is going to be set in a couple of different places. Oh no, Sage, you have, oh my God, what are you guys, how are you going to handle that? I don't know. Is there like, this might be a really stupid question. Is South Africa as social distanced right now? Sage has no toilet.
Poor Sage.
Whoa, Bonnie's 8th grade teacher's name was Shawn Dawson. Shout out to Bonnie's 8th grade teacher. I'm sure he's a great guy and has nothing to do with our book.
Comment below if you ever had a crush on a teacher, what grade it was, and what subject they taught.
Okay, I just got to an episode. Ooh, RK's 10th grade math teacher was hot.
She was hot. But the thing is, everyone thought she was hot too. So it's not like you were special for thinking she was hot.
Sure, that's fair. I honestly don't think I've ever had a crush on a teacher, which is weird because I have a crush on like everybody.
Yeah, that is weird. Are you like that authority that like you can't possibly find someone who's higher authority than you hot?
Yeah, that's the thing, right? Like I am like so. If I say the best way I can describe this, and I don't mean this sexually, is dominant. Like that's how I am. I'm an alpha, I guess. If we're gonna go with that kind of thing,
let's go with that.
Let's go with that. I'm an alpha, yeah. So it's like, and I know, guys, I don't think the alpha beta thing. I don't think that's real science. Like, I don't believe in that. But I think that's the best descriptor.
What do you mean you don't believe in that science? Like, you don't believe that there's like an alpha in like a wolf pack, or you don't believe in?
I mean for humans, for animals. Well, because there was some like incel pseudoscience a few years ago where people were like, humans have alphas and betas, and men have to be the alpha if they want to get hot. P word.
Yeah, that's stupid.
That's stupid. That's not what yes, within certain animal structures there will be alphas, yes.
Got it.
But yeah, that's the best way I can describe it. So yeah, no, I could never be interested in someone who had any authority over me.
Bonnie and I are similar. She had a crush on 11th grade math teacher. And then Sage is opposite.
I saw him years later in the club. I love it. If a teacher had been attracted to me, they'd be gross to me. Okay, guys, I just got to this really nasty episode of Degrassi. Degrassi has done 2 student-teacher romance plots in it so far, and I am like really not okay with this.
Only 2? Paige had one and Tristan had one. Was there another one or no?
I don't know who Tristan was.
There's three. There's 3.
There's Sab, dude.
Tristan yet. Yep, it's Paige, Sab, Tristan.
And here's the thing, dude. Watching the show as an adult, Tyler and I are watching together, and we're both like, damn, the teacher is hot, dude. Like, she's hot.
Well, that's the thing. But the awkward thing about the Sav one, too, was like, yeah. Sorry, didn't mean to cut in.
And the actor who plays Sav has got to be like 25 at this point, because the show is like, it's taken so many years to film certain seasons at this point where it's like, so But it's like the within the context of the plot, I'm so grossed out by it.
I don't
like
think he's
when
25. I think he's like I think he was like a 1989 baby, and this came out like
okay,
2009.
so that was
I think he might have been like 20.
this episode. No, it was like 2011, 2012 when this episode came out.
Okay, so he was like probably 21.
He was like 21, 22, like
22,
that age, which is like, yeah, and like that's so the actor, whatever, but the character is supposed to be like 18 and a student in high school. And the teacher is a teacher. And as a teacher, she's like a new teacher. So she's maybe like 23 years old or whatever. So it's gross though, dude, because she's his teacher. And so that scene, and then because like he writes a song about her, and like if I were if she's a teacher in that position and she hears that her student wrote a song about her because he thinks she's cute, she needs to just be like, "Aw, that's adorable," but then be like, "Sav, you are my student, and while I think your music is very good, I do not condone this. We need to not we must distance." That's what you have to do if you're in a position of authority. But she didn't, dude. She just kept hanging out with him, and then they made out at the piano.
Yeah. Now, what I will say is,
and that is gross, dude. That is gross.
I completely agree.
Yes, we do not stand power imbalances in romance. 1000%.
I just wanted to comment to Eva's post of if a teacher had been attracted to me, that'd be gross. I completely agree, but our conversation is entirely one-way crushes. Because I think it's fine for a student to have a crush on a teacher.
Oh, definitely. As long as the teacher doesn't do anything inappropriate about it. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. That would be fine. Yeah, predatory love is incredibly disgusting. Not a fan. It's really gross. I had a married recruiter hit on me and show up a year later to apologize. Yeah, that's gross.
That's definitely gross.
Ew. Yeah.
Wait, but anyway, as far as Degrassi is concerned, you haven't gotten to the worst one yet, because
is this one's worse?
The Tristan one is by far the worst, because I mean, can we do spoilers?
The Paige one was pretty bad. It was bad especially because it was treated as a relationship.
Yes, but what I was going to say is the Tristan one still is worse, just in that. Okay, like can I just fucking do spoilers?
Yeah, go ahead. I don't care.
Okay, so the Paige one is obvious. Like the Paige one is obviously horrible, and so is the Sav one. What makes the Tristan one worse is they make it so blatant. Like it's so blatantly just like such an abuse of power. Like it's even more over the top of the abuse of power than you can possibly imagine. Because he literally uses the line at one point, like, "I just thought you were more mature than that," or some shit like that. Or you're just so Yep. It has that moment. It has that moment where he's just pressuring the student into sex by like saying, "If only you were older."
Oh my god! Oh my god! I want to vomit! Oh my god! So is it at least treated by the episode as bad? Because like the problem I had with the one with Paige and Sav is the episode and like first of all the teacher, that you're supposed to feel bad for the teacher when they face consequences. Like that's the way it's portrayed emotionally, and it's grossing me out. Like with Paige, with the one with Paige, at least he got in trouble. Although, to be fair, like I just like 2 days ago watched the episode with Sav and the teacher. I'm only a couple episodes past it. So I don't know if there's going to be, but I know Snake calls them into the office and then Sav like covers for her.
Yep.
And then everything's just fine. Like, what are we supposed to take away from that?
Yeah, it was just a horrible, like, I thought that was just a bad story. Obviously it was morally wrong too, but I just thought it was also a bad story. I thought the Paige one had some interest to it because he was also such an like, I hated the fact that they didn't make Miss O look like an asshole.
Right, because Miss O has always been like the adorable, cute teacher, and it's like I can't just go back to thinking of her that way now that she made out with a student. Like that crosses so many lines, dude.
Yeah, they portrayed her as like it's like a consequence of circumstances, and like that relationship was portrayed as like age is only a number and he's already legal. I'm like, no, this is bullshit.
Anyone who says age is a number, you get a red flag. Anyone who somehow knows for romance, what the age of consent is. Yeah, sometimes you'll get people who said like every Degrassi episode I watch where something weird happens, like the one where Mia is going to be a model and then she has sex with the football player whose thing she's sponsoring. And I'm like, this is gross. Like, he knows she's underage. He went to go pick her up from her high school while he was like 30. And then everyone in the comments is like, age of consent in Canada is 16, age of consent in Canada is 16. I'm like, guys, stop. Anyone who has memorized what countries and what states and what cities have what age of consent, that's a problem. You shouldn't have that information memorized. You have no need to, unless you're going to go after really young people. Like, stop it. It's just, oh my God. Any man who says the phrase age of consent, I'm immediately like, no, get away.
Well, it's not just that. Well, I guess they're trans male, but I was thinking like Onision's spouse Kai, who when they were releasing like the horrible things that they were that he was sending to people, or they were, I forgot what the pronouns are, and how they and at the time too, they were still going by she her pronouns, and it was like they were talking to these underage girls, and it was like, wherever they told them what state they were in, they just knew off the top of their head the age of consent of that state.
That was with the Onision, yeah. Well, he would like specifically take girls who were underage to states where the age of consent was lower. Like, he would specifically travel to states with lower ages of consent. Like, he is one of the grossest people that exists.
Yeah, and didn't he like go international once with one of his former the Canadian one or some shit? Yeah, it was the
every person who's married has been like 15 when he met them. Which is like, it would be okay if he was also 15, but he was like 25, 29. Like, it's gross, dude.
Gross. Totally gross.
It's so gross. And well, now that we're finding out that like Shane Dawson's been the same way the whole time, like trying to kiss underage girls and like has like videos of like asking 12-year-olds to twerk for him. I'm like, oh my God, this is so gross. Like, why are people so gross? Just don't do that.
They're doing it for the views. I mean, we're talking about it.
Oh my God, yes. Binge Degrassi. It's a wild ride. I'm a Degrassi purist, though, and RK makes fun of me for YouTube. It.
Well, yeah, kind of.
Start with Degrassi Junior High. I'm not purist. You don't have to start with the Kids of Degrassi Street from 1979 because that show is so bad you can't get through it. So you start with Degrassi Junior High because that's where the story really starts, and do what I'm doing and just go all the way through. To be fair, I've watched Degrassi Junior High through Degrassi The Next Generation season like 10, like 3 times through, but I never watched season 11. So now I'm in season 11 and I'm moving forward.
Yeah, see. Yeah, you're such a purist, man. So should I start?
Worst. I'm the same way with Star Trek. I'm like,
I was going to ask, should I start with Star Trek or Star Trek? See, Gray is so different. Gray told me that like if he wants to introduce me to Star Trek, he's going to start me with his favorite episodes, and if I like those, then he's going to tell me to go back and start from the beginning.
Okay, well here, yeah, I would agree with that actually. So I could point out like there's probably like 3 or 4 TNG episodes of Star Trek that I would be like, start with these so that you get really invested in Star Trek, and then go all the way back to the beginning and watch it through. That's what I did.
That makes sense. I think that's what happened with me.
Like Tyler and I would watch like a few of the really good episodes first and be like, this show is awesome. And then we would watch it all the way through.
So maybe I'll do that tonight after I finish my fan fiction. You'll tell me what episode to start with so I can like see if Star Trek's something I want to pursue. Then again, I feel like I have to pursue it no matter what, just to stay friends with you and Gray.
Gray and I will be your friends regardless. I mean, I can't speak for Gray. I want to be friends with Gray forever, though. He's literally the coolest person I've ever met.
He's pretty. I'm pretty lucky to get to speak to him regularly for the podcast.
Oh yeah, I'm jealous of you.
Well, you invited him back on yours.
Oh yeah, Gray and I are going to do another live stream on I think October 16th, and we're going to discuss how U.S. political parties are cults.
Man, you got to wait till you have to wait all the way till October.
I just had videos scheduled through then.
Oh, so. No, I get it. I know you don't actually have to wait that long.
Plus, it'll be so close to election time, and people will be all like, it will just be good for the algorithm.
Oh, I completely understand the decision. I mean, I think you're handling it brilliantly. I don't even know what I was doing, man. I'm just in this universe with you. Feeling all universal.
It's probably for the best. I mean, you can fall down the rabbit hole of Onision, but he was like a edgy comedy skit YouTuber from back in the day. Like, I think he and Shane Dawson were best friends back in the day, which makes perfect sense looking back.
They overlapped, yeah.
And they were very similar. They both had like the emo boy straight hair look and all of that. And now he's like a 35-year-old man, and he impregnated a 17-year-old who he then married. That was Kai. And he like invited a 16-year-old girl who was his fan to come live with him, and then on her 18th birthday he had sex with her. Like, he's just like a severe predator and groomer, and he's gross. All right. Yeah, so Onision is nasty. He is one of the worst people on this platform. I don't know how he still has a channel. I've considered doing reviews of his books, though. He's written 3 books, and they're all
they get flagged. His reviews get flagged and sometimes strike. You should so do it.
Really? Oh, cool. Maybe I'll do it.
So do it.
Okay. Because they're all like incredibly like, look how edgy I am.
They're also all self.
They're all self inserts about him getting a girl to fall in love with him
and saving the world. Gross. Like, he has one self insert
like
where he stops a school shooter and meets the president.
Oh my god! And he's just like not a very good writer.
Yeah, but
do like a video actual author reviews Onision's book.
The description that he doesn't read. That he just wanted to write something down.
He doesn't read, he just wanted to write because he wanted to put himself into a story. That's how the best writers are born.
Well, it's also because, you can't be brilliant if you don't publish a book.
Oh my god, that's what I'm reading right now. Shout out to Spence for mailing me Authorpreneur. It's the book where it's basically like, writing a book is the best marketing tool you have. Everyone should write a book, because if you write a book, you establish yourself as an expert in a field. I'm like, not everyone should write a book. Calm down.
Now, I will say everyone should.
Everyone can write a book if they want and put the work in, but it's not like the right career move for everyone. That's wild.
If you're an entrepreneur, I do stand firmly by you should have a podcast, because it can become its own independent brand. It's the fastest route to monetization, so it does create an additional revenue stream. And yes, for the reason why you should write a book, it doesn't necessarily establish you as an expert, but it does establish you as a leader in your community, because you can start interviewing other people, and then even if you don't become the intelligent source of information, your podcast does.
You sound like Gary Vee. Which is not a bad thing. I don't hate him as much as I hate Grant Cardone. I actually like some things about him.
It's also the lowest workload for editing, because you just have to record and edit audio.
I guess I have videos on my channel where I do podcast style discussions, but I don't have like a whole separate podcast.
Don't make me feel bad for my opinion. It's a good opinion.
I'm not. I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Have a hug.
Okay. Speaking of podcasts, great. I just dropped a new podcast. It's great today. I'm going to share it right now.
Yeah, put it in it. Send it to me.
The title of it is Star Trek on Maslow's Hierarchy of Needs.
I cannot wait to listen to this.
Sage, you and RP absolutely need to start a podcast together. Should we start working on the book?
Yeah,
because it's 43 minutes, and
I kind of feel I feel like this has just become our podcast.
I mean, honestly, dude, I would happily just, what we should start doing? Maybe we should start recording these on Zoom instead, and then we can record the audio,
and we can upload it to. That would be fun.
I think that would be. What do y'all think? Let us know in the comments if you would support this podcast.
Okay, so now we're gonna the setting. Okay, so we have really 3 settings for this, like in terms of cities. So there's.
I don't even know where Rick is.
I think he's in Buffalo, right?
Buffalo would make more sense, because I don't want to put Rick in New Orleans.
Yeah, Buffalo.
I want to celebrate New Orleans. I don't want Rick to be a part of it.
Buffalo. Wait, I think one of them has to be capitalized to make the sentence work.
Is it 5 or is it 6 for the sentence?
I think it's 7.
Sage just says we should download the videos and upload them. Yeah, that actually makes sense. If we download the videos. We can do
that. Yeah, we can do that.
I would like that too, because then we don't lose what we uploaded.
Rick lives in Buffalo. Lindsay lives in Chicago. They're not self-inserts, I swear.
Wait. Can you emphasize the O just to make it a little bit more orgasmic? Ew. There we go. Yeah, add some zeros.
And then Shawn Boston lives in LA.
Of course he fucking does.
Yep. Okay, so think about the big picture of the place. Write an observation from your character about this place. What would Rick say about Buffalo? Just what's the first thought that comes to your head in Rick's perspective of what he'd say about Buffalo?
City of good neighbors, -not. What would Lindsay say about Chicago? Save the dogs.
Save the dogs? Why?
Save the dogs. Or
Because I would say that?
Yeah, I was gonna say, you know what Lindsay would say about Chicago? Order your Forever Home Friends merch.
Chicago, home to the best small business, Forever Home Friends, run by Savvy, who is the coolest person in all of Chicago.
Yeah, dude, we should just do the most obnoxious product placement. Yo, who here wants us to try and get some sponsors for this? And we'll just be like, okay, listen, we're writing a book, we're live streaming the whole thing. Would you like some product placement in this book? Because you'll also get product placement in all of our videos when we talk about it. I will sell this book out. I will sell this book soul. I will happily do that.
Dude, Degrassi's product placement is off the charts. There is so much product placement in Degrassi. My favorite example, my favorite is when Sav's dad, Sav comes home and his dad has all of these shirts laid out on the couch. And he's like, "Hi, Dad, what are you doing?" And his dad's like, "There was a big sale at Men's Warehouse today. I got all of this for $90.
Man. I fucking love that show. This is what happens when you have people who try and aspire to be creatives, but their primary watching growing up was Degrassi. It creates the best creative entrepreneurs.
You know what?
Folks.
Well, dude, Kevin Smith. That's Kevin Smith, dude. He watched Degrassi growing up, and then he grew up to insert himself into Degrassi and make out with Caitlin. And that is the American dream. Or it's the Canadian dream, I guess.
To insert yourself with Kate, who would be the American Caitlin? For like everyone grew up having a crush on them and they just wanted to like self-insert themselves in the show so they could kiss them once.
I don't know.
In the comments, who do you think the American
Hillary Duff, maybe?
Oh shit, that's a good
Lindsay
Hillary
McGuire.
Duff. Raven Simone too. It would so be a Disney star. It's so a Disney star that everyone grew up loving and started writing.
Or like a Nickelodeon star. But now that we know about what was going on behind the scenes at Nickelodeon, that's not as fun.
Also, I don't think, with the exception of Ariana Grande, like Ariana Grande is the reason why it's even a debate between Nickelodeon and Disney.
No, oh dude, no. It's Jeanette McCurdy, dude.
Jeanette McCurdy's big, but immediately I would say she's in the same category as a Demi Lovato.
Oh, I'm just talking about in terms of how attracted I was to them when I was a child.
I'm talking about in terms of like, of notoriety. I wasn't talking about attraction right there. I was talking about if we're talking strictly attractiveness. Yeah.
Well, because with Kevin Smith, dude, like I don't think Caitlin on Degrassi was the most like well-known character in all of television. I think he was just in love with her.
I think
as a child, which is reasonable.
No, I think I was Hillary Duff. I think I was Hillary Duff for Disney, and I think I was I might have been Victoria Justice for Nickelodeon.
Christina backing me up here. See, this is why Christina is in one human my target audience. No, dude. Okay, actually, I'm talking about this in a video I just filmed yesterday. Okay, so my childhood crush was Alexa Vega. Dude, I was nuts for her. And she is selling Young Living essential oils now. So I just filmed a video yesterday called Young Living Ruined My Gay Awakening.
Just a beautiful title. Just a beautiful title.
It's a beautiful title. So I'm gonna post that probably.
You were so proud of that. I'm sure you wrote that down. You're like, damn, I'm so clever.
I was like, the second I thought it wasn't even a title. I was like, the second I said that sentence to someone, I was like, that's a video title right there.
Just glory, Sav. You're so creative.
Thank you. I appreciate you. So are you, bud. I appreciate it.
Nah. I feed off of your energy. You're Howard Stern. I'm Robin.
Oh
In
my
fact,
God.
Robin went to the same university as me, University of Maryland. So I'll happily be that fellow Terp.
Terps all the way down.
Terps all the way down. Get ready for our companion pieces.
Oh man. Okay, wait. I didn't realize you went to Maryland. How did I not know that?
University of Maryland for undergrad and University of Buffalo for grad school. And now I'm thinking about, since it's the end of the world, I might want to go back to a trade
Hold
school
up.
for like one of their 9-month programs. Like I'm seriously considering getting my welding certificate just so I can have a fallback in case all of my businesses fail.
Wait.
It's only like 9 months.
So you graduated a year before me, yeah?
2014 for undergrad. I took a year and a half off that I did grad school.
No, I just mean we were at Big Ten schools at the same time. Is that what happened?
No, when I was at University of Maryland, it was an ACC school.
Oh, wait, did Maryland become a Big Ten school for the 2014-2015 season?
Yep, that was its first year.
Was that the first year?
My senior year.
Okay.
So it was 2013, 2014.
So you were not at any Maryland Northwestern games then?
Correct. No, my senior year, I didn't see a Maryland Northwestern game. My senior year, we were Big Ten.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Then my junior and senior year, we were Big Ten. Or you were Big Ten. I was always Big Ten. But
Savvy does a big. Sage is telling me to get my welding certificate.
No, I'm just trying to figure out if you and I were ever at a football game together at the same time.
Doubtful. Very
before
doubtful.
we knew each other. Probably not. Did you go to football games?
Yeah. Oh, fuck yeah. I went to football games. I went to basketball games. I went to soccer games. I went to some of the gymnastics. Like I wanted to go to a big...
you were a school spirit dude. Okay, cool. I was in the marching band, so I was like, I wasn't school spirit
in that I wasn't like dressing up wildly and yelling, but I was there supporting my school.
All right.
Mostly because Scott Van Pelt, who's on ESPN, he went to University of Maryland and he called out students for not being supportive enough. And I was like, I'm not going to let Scott Van Pelt down. I'm not going to be that guy.
Oh man, we should talk Big Ten stories at some point, but not right now because
dude, I had so much fun. I mean, I had more fun when we were ACC because then we got to play Duke regularly and everyone just loves saying fuck Duke. It's just such a fun thing to say.
Well, Duke sucks, dude. I fucking hate Duke.
Man, fuck Duke. Fuck UNC.
Fuck Duke.
Fuck the ACC. Like, seriously.
Although,
fuck
dude,
y'all.
I mean, the team I hate the most is Notre Dame. Like, fuck Notre Dame.
Fuck Notre Dame. Those pretentious fucks.
Notre Dame.
Fuck you, Notre Dame. Y'all think you're great because you had Rudy? Y'all really think you're great because of Rudy? Fuck off.
Dude, well, I love the Notre Dame Northwestern rivalry because my senior year, we finally, we beat Notre Dame we hadn't beat them in football in like decades. We beat them my senior year in overtime. And the only reason we even went to overtime, they were killing us for the beginning of the game. And then they decided to go for a 2-point conversion and didn't get it. And then we tied at the end because of that. And then we won in overtime with a field goal. Damn, it was magical, y'all.
Changing the fighting Irish and the fighting fucks. No, I want to say my first memory.
Sage, I know not everyone here is a college sports person. Okay.
Do you remember your first college football game? Mine was University of Maryland versus Navy. We won it similarly. Navy tried to do a 2-point conversion. We stopped them.
I was in the marching band. I was at every football game.
So do you remember your first one?
Yeah, my first one happened right before my birthday. It was like on my birthday, I think. It was really fun. It was was it Vanderbilt? No, Vanderbilt was my first game of my sophomore year. First game, it was, I think, University. No, it wasn't University. Oh my God, I can't remember who we played now, but I remember the game very vividly.
I put you on the spot.
Holy shit, why can't I remember this? I used to have all the college football facts, just blah, 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 but now I'm on medication. I can't remember shit anymore.
Yes, we're talking about college football. American. Because I feel like
such an American.
Yeah, I feel like American university, like sports rivalries in higher education is not as huge in other countries as it is in America, just because it's so profitable in America. Like, it's such a money machine taking advantage of these poor student athletes. I'm from Indiana, but fuck it.
That's what Shawn Boston says.
That's solid. That's solid. I think it makes sense because he's sort of embarrassed about where he's from. Like, he's proud of it, but it's curated imperfection proud.
Yes. curated perfection proud. I'm from
Like, it's always
butt
backhanded
fuck
compliments. Yeah, it's like, I'm from
nowhere,
nowhere and I made it huge. And I love my town
Indiana.
so much. It fucking sucks, but I loved
I
it.
love my town, which sucks. I made it so big despite my amazing, wholesome hometown, which sucks.
Yeah, he talks
That's
about
what
his town
Shawn
like
would
it's some
say.
sort of burden. Like he was born with some
Yeah.
disability because he was born in this town.
Yeah, he's one of those types, definitely.
He's one of those types.
Kind of like how Shane Dawson likes to talk, but never mind. He's nothing like Shane Dawson. They're totally different.
Yeah, because we're actually giving him a redemption arc in a future book.
So other than plugging my merch, Lindsay is gonna say so many arts fests, y'all. City of Good Neighbors not, but bad
Gray
rent
definitely heard his name. He called me.
Oh, but great apartment basements. All right, describe. Okay, principal location is the internet, but we also have the 3 cities it takes place in. So we'll have Buffalo.
He got a crazy
Chicago,
interview for our podcast. I'm asking if I can get permission to say it on stream as we speak.
Ooh, is it someone I really like?
He hasn't told me yet. I'm waiting for him to tell me.
Wait, Gray hasn't told you who it is? Oh, okay.
He called me to tell me, and I hung up and said, I'm on a stream with Savvy. I can't talk right now. And he's like, I got a crazy interview for us.
Wait, link. Tell him he can hop on the stream if he wants.
Savvy also says, I'm going to be that guy who says what he's texting out loud. Savvy also says, if you want to come on the stream, you're so welcome to.
Gray is always welcome on our stream.
Because gray and gold makes green. That's code for money.
Perfect.
It doesn't actually make green, though. And I totally stole that from the Buffalo Sabres, who used to go blue and gold makes green when they were doing their what's it called? Their recycling program. Okay, there's no way you know who this person is, but you will love reading about them because they are doing such a cool thing. Yeah? Yes, it's also code per week. Yeah, that's actually really cool. Holy shit.
Who is it? Can you tell me?
I can tell you in private chat. I don't know if I'm supposed to share it yet.
Okay, tell me in private chat.
I just private chatted us. Oh, I didn't actually include his name, though. There we go. Hey, guys,
that's super cool. That's super cool, dude.
Gray actually says he's down.
Oh, Gray! Come on the stream, Gray, while we write this novel.
Can you private message me the StreamYard link so I can invite him?
Don't you have it? How did you get on the stream?
I got on using the link, but
okay. I'll send it to you. Okay.
Just put it in the private message.
Okay, there it is. I just sent it to you. Okay.
Okay, here we go, y'all. Y'all are in for a fucking treat. Y'all are gonna see the Raiden Square as we talk about books. He could talk about the comic he's been working on forever, the graphic novel.
That's so exciting, dude. Okay. So we have 4 locations, one of which is the internet, but I think we still need the internet to be described. Gray is Bay, you are so right. Definitely. Okay, so we
have another person to add to Sage's ever-growing list of crushes. Kidding. I was just saying that because they said they would crush on every teacher. And Gray is a teacher. He's a teacher of hip-hop. He takes on students.
That's amazing, dude.
Describe your novel's principal location.
How to rap. Okay, so we've got the internet.
You should learn because then you can make your own intro song.
And I can make a diss track. I can make diss tracks for all the people I roast. I want to make a Grant Cardone diss track. I want to make a Tony Robbins diss track.
You should reach out to him and say, listen, I want to
Honestly,
get into rap
actually,
solely to diss scammers.
I should. I had written some lyrics for a Rachel Hollis diss track, but Mooncat, who also makes Rachel Hollis videos, had actually a really fantastic diss track for her. I'm not going to play it because I don't want the bots to copyright claim the video, but I'll send it to you.
Ask to collab with her. You should say, I want to write diss tracks.
I would be like, you want to do a diss track together? Yeah, because it's really good.
You should diss Rice Gum too, just
like electronic. Yeah, I mean, I only even know who Rice Gum is because of iDubbbz's diss track. I didn't know who he was before then.
Because Rice Gum made it big by doing diss tracks on like Vine Kids.
Yeah.
And then no, not Vine Kids, Musical.ly Kids. Remember Musical.ly?
Oh, music before TikTok was Musical.ly. Yeah.
He did diss tracks on those kids, and that's how he blew up because he was doing diss tracks on like 11-year-olds.
We need to have a diss track in this novel. Shawn Boston's got to release a big diss track about Indiana. I am gonna release a diss track about Indiana because
titled
I
"Fuck
love
the Colts"
it so much. Fuck the Colts. There we go.
Fuck the Colts. Fuck the Pacers. That's what it can be called.
Okay, so Internet Buffalo. Okay, so we've got these 4 main locations. Describe houses, style of architecture, people. Okay, so Buffalo is what is the well? So Rick lives in an apartment.
Someone just messaged me in my Discord private message about my snow reaction, how they think they're in love with me, and it's flattering, but I just want to make it clear to everyone on the internet that if you end up loving me, I will not allow stalking, I will not allow murdering me, and I will not allow you asking to wear my skin. Okay, I'm sure there's more I won't allow, but that's off the top of my head. You want people to wear? You want people to want to wear your skin?
Well, just real quick, Sage, I think the AIM door is my chair. My office chair is really squeaky, and it made a sound that I think was
90s. It hurts.
Listen to this. That's what my chair sounds like. I think that's what made the AIM door sound.
Your whole aesthetic is your child. Like, you just carried it with you, so even the furniture you sit in brings it back.
My furniture sounds like the AIM door. Okay, wait. So tell me about Buffalo. I've never even been there. Tell me about Buffalo. What does it look like? Tell me about it.
Racist.
It's
honestly, it's like the 4th most segregated city in the country. So it's divided by Main Street. In the south, you have the Irish. In the north, you have the Italians. On the east side, you have predominantly Black community. On the west side, it's predominantly Hispanic. Lower west side is predominantly immigrant. I grew up literally right in the middle, more on the west side. The Jews used to live on the east side, and they all ran away to the suburbs. See how segregated it is. It's cold. It's gray. It's blue collar and proud, which is sort of the equivalent of being like, which is sort of the equivalent of Ron Swanson saying, I am going to eat as much meat as possible, even if it kills me, because America. That's sort of the vibe I get from it. Obsessed with sports. Everyone here, but like that's something I definitely inherited from it that I'm not upset about. Beautiful architecture, though. Mostly its beautiful architecture, though, comes from Chicago because Louis Sullivan designed one of the world's first skyscrapers here in Buffalo. And then Louis Sullivan obviously designed a lot of buildings in Chicago. And then Frank Lloyd Wright, after stealing clients under the table from Louis Sullivan, who was his apprentice and basically kicked out of Chicago, came to Buffalo.
Dude, you and my mom need to have a talk. My mom she loves Chicago architecture primarily, but like, y'all should talk architecture. My mom loves architecture.
Dude, I was born in 1991 in Buffalo, New York. The only thing I could possibly be proud of in the city was the buildings.
Okay, so here's what I wrote. Rick lives in an apartment with his grandpa. Rick has a drum set in the apartment's basement. The city's racist, 4th most segregated city in the country, divided by Main Street. Even the small sects of white people are segregated. The Jews are segregated from the Italians. It's cold and gray. It's blue collar and proud, as opposed to Shawn Boston, who pretends he's proud to be from a blue collar town but actually hates it. Town is obsessed with sports, but Rick is not obsessed with sports, so he stands out. The architecture's pretty, though. Too bad nobody can go outside because of the coronavirus.
Bonnie is we should probably include some crazy tailgating stories from Bill's Mafia, and of course Buffalo is now famous for people jumping through tables.
People jump through tables. Rick once broke a table with his massive dick.
Yeah, just slapped it.
He just slapped it and sliced the table in half. Yeah.
I'm relieved. I love you, Sage.
Sage is great. Okay.
Oh no, cool. I'm out of Diet Sprite product placement here. See how easy that is? They should totally sponsor us.
Aperture Laboratories product placement here.
Clear glass. Centrum multivitamins, the gummies for kids like me.
Tea bag product placement here.
Cheese It Original. Public Radio. This book is brought to you by Blue Yeti microphone. Gringotts wallet. What are these? LuminaMidCity.com. Free sunglasses. There we go.
I was going to show my business stamp, but it has my address on it. Anyway.
Dude, do you want to see something really cool, actually, real quick? Like, I'm actually super proud of these. We were doing some while I was in Buffalo, we were doing some cleaning.
Yeah.
And my dad gave me, I have 2 of these old ass binders, which for anyone curious, I'm now 4th generation entrepreneur because it goes back to my great grandfather. I think he sold fruit. My grandfather,
that's so cool, dude.
These are all of his old records from when he founded his pharmacy store. My dad started finance, and then I started Follow the Hummingbird. So I have all these old legal documents from my grandfather's pharmacy store.
Dude, that's amazing.
No, it's pretty proud. It's also just nice to have his memory so close by at all times.
I love that. That's so nice.
Yeah, it's on my work desk. It's like I can just look at it every day.
I feel that. Thought I had cookies in my office. I do not.
Actually, going back to how racist Buffalo is historically, it's kind of funny. He was a Jewish pharmacist who had a pharmacy store. He went by Jack because he was in the first ward, which was predominantly Irish and racist. So he didn't want anyone to know he was Jewish. And he went by Jack, and I forgot what the name of the store is. It's in there, though. Just
what
funny
was his
story.
Actual name?
Abraham.
Oh, so it wasn't even close. He chose just a completely different name.
Just wanted to go by a name. I mean, it's one of those things which just, instead of "Hey you," it's "Hey Jack."
There you go.
I'm sorry you don't have cookies, Sage.
If Buffalo is this racist, we should probably figure out what ethnicity Rick is. Is Rick Jewish? What's Rick? Oh, hey, Gray's here. Hey, Gray, what's up?
How goes the battle?
What's up, Gray? How's it going?
Arcade, what's going down, fam?
We're just working on our collaborative book, Cancel Shawn Boston, coming out this November.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah,
I mean, it's being written this November. It's coming out for sale next May.
Don't know why I said comes out this. Oh, because my book, Father in the Forest, comes out November 17th. Did not mean to put that product placement in.
Oh, my book, The Love of Senior Dogs, Forever Home Friends number 5, comes out November 7th.
Whoa!
We can product place against each other all day.
I'm gonna literally tell people in my book to buy your book, and I'm gonna include a hyperlink in it so anyone who reads the digital copy will go to it.
That is the most supportive thing that
I know. He's straight one-upped you on that.
He's the most supportive friend that exists. I can't because his book won't be out yet then. Although, let's just talk about Sage loves your voice, Gray, which I don't blame them because your voice is pretty great.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Oh, I'm sorry, Bonnie. I mean, there are a lot of nice people in Buffalo. I just don't know them.
Go Bills, though.
Go Bills. You know, I'm proud. I live in New Orleans now, everyone there is a Saints fan, and I still proudly support the Bills. So that is the best thing that I took from Buffalo.
That's what Rick says. That's going to be a quote from him. There's a lot of nice people in Buffalo. I just don't know them.
There we go. Speaking of nice people we don't know, Gray, tell us some stories of nice people you don't know. Transitioning in.
I'm a combat veteran atheist rapper who sometimes gets into philosophical and existential debates with people. So,
dude, let's talk about this for a second, because we were having a nice talk on stoicism yesterday.
Oh, really?
When I was reading Seneca's letters from a Stoic, the guy who was Nero's tutor, and he was talking about mostly the importance of, first off, it was the importance of moderation, which I think we can all support and get behind. And there was some support of moderation, essentially finding purpose in life through discipline, which again, I think is something we can all support, not overindulging and not putting your value in things that don't matter. Like one of the things he straight up said was, the amount of, it's totally normal for everyone to crave fame and attention. And while it's normal, it's something that you need to rebel against. It's an instinct you need to rebel against, because it does not lead to happiness. If anything, it leads to the opposite, because you become it's an insatiable desire. You're never going to reach a level of fame that silences that desire.
Yeah, the problem with validation, I find, is that you tend to seek it from people that you've qualified for no reason.
Completely agree.
Like what qualifies that person to validate you, other than the fact that you like them? I tell people who come on my stream and on the Discord all the time, don't hero worship me. I will disappoint you every time. I am a flawed human being who makes mistakes, who has personality traits I'm sure a lot of people wouldn't like. But that's what makes me human. I'm not perfect, and I try to make better those flaws every day, but sometimes I fail. And so who am I to validate someone? When someone asks me, hey, Gray, can you listen to this? Or hey, Gray, what do you think about this? I'm like, hey, man, the question is, what do you think about it? And how you got to that place, how you reasoned yourself into that place. Instead of worrying about what I think about it, worry about how you got to that place.
Completely agree. Now, I do think there's an interesting distinction here, because you do not want to necessarily be the voice of validation for others randomly, but you do deliberately offer critiquing services to your students. And there it's a different relationship, because it's not hero worship.
Yeah, that's different. I think that's different. You're right, because it's not hero worship. As a person who studied martial arts for most of his life, if not all of it, I guess you hero worship the instructor or the Sifu maybe for about the first month, and then he chokes you out and you're like, that guy's an asshole, Not to say you don't still have respect for him, but the whole hero worship or the awe of, the starstruck awe or whatever, that I think that just wears off very quickly when you deal with someone regularly. And so I try to eliminate that mystique right off the bat, even before I give a criticism, because I don't want it to be colored with that. If people are at the point where they're my actual students and they're learning from me directly when it comes to hip hop, then they know they're going to get a different type of grading. They're not going to get rapper grading. They're going to get teacher grading, instructor, professor grading. And that's a different level of accountability than maybe they might be used to. They might not have been used to having any level of accountability when it came to their art and their creativity. And now they have, massive amounts of accountability and scrutiny that they have to deal with.
I do think you touched on an interesting point with when you're with a master or a teacher and they essentially choke you out or knock you down to your lowest common denominator, just essentially break you down entirely just to build you back up again with this new discipline. That is such a unique difference, because when it comes to hero worship, it's an entirely one-way relationship. So you're projecting everything you want on them.
Totally agree. I totally agree. That one way, the having that type of relationship with anything is not healthy. Like, I don't care what you're doing. Having that type of like one directional, I just worship this individual because X, Y, or Z. It's like, I don't know in what relationship that's healthy, whether it be familial relationship, romantic relationship, regular platonic relationship. In what area of life is that type of relationship happy, where it's just this one directional way of appreciation and admiration?
It's the opposite. It's so unhealthy because it's unhealthy on both parties. Because for one, it's the self-insert and the projection of what you need on someone puts an unreasonable and unfair burden on that person who's just going to disappoint you just by existing. And it's unfair to them to have to fit this box that you're putting them in when you're worshiping them.
Damn right.
Because it's not who they are, and it's disrespectful to see them that way and not see them as a complete human being. You're better off worship. You know where hero worship works? In fiction. It works in fiction because you can put very clear boundaries on them. You want to worship Harry Potter? Worship Harry Potter.
Well, then, and they also can't be, unless they're written this way, they can't act in a way that is going to disappoint you unless, like I said, they're written that way. So it's not like they're going to do something where you're going to just reevaluate, where you have to separate the person from the art or whatever the case may be. You know, let's say someone has political differences that you disagree with, right? You're for something, they're against something or whatever, but you like their work. Well, how do you reconcile that? How do you reconcile that you hate their political stance on this, but God damn it, you love that 50 Shades of whatever, you know?
No, exactly. This is actually a really fascinating discussion to have on the separation of the art and the artist. Because I think, with few exceptions, and I can't even think of them off the top of my head, I just include that disclaimer in here because nothing is an absolute except this comment. With few exceptions, you should try and separate the art from the artist, because the artist doesn't own the art once it's in the world. It becomes your interpretation of the art. So you can no longer, that's one of the issues I have with J.K. Rowling, not just her political stances, but her manipulation of the art to make it fit a certain standard after it was created. So she continued owning the art, and it was no longer granted that freedom of interpretation by the consumer. So I completely agree with your need for separating the art and the artist. And I also agree with the need for the artist to relinquish their art once it's in the world, because they no longer own it. They did their job of creating it. I'm curious about
if the art has an understanding, I don't mean to cut you off. I just think that the art has an understanding of what happens just in the kind of cyclical nature of art. You know, once it's out in the world, this is why we're so protective of our art before it gets to the world. You guys actually do something that is terrifying to me, which is writing in public, creating in public. I never do that. I come from a time where you lock yourself in a room with nobody and you emerge with some hot shit. And it's like, you don't let people kind of see the process. You don't let people in the kitchen. But I understand.
I think we started this though. Like, nobody does this except us, and now Sako and BC. But for the most part,
we did start a trend.
Right, they're not.
I think
we started legit. A trend. So this was a cool, dude. Like, we started an original concept. I love it.
Yeah, because I like I said, this is not something that I would normally do. I wouldn't write and just, have my lyrics up and go through all these revisions. Now, I share my lyrics with RK because he's, one of those guys I feel like I can trust creatively to critique honestly from a place.
I was so flattered by Sci-Fi reaching out to me yesterday too.
Oh yeah, because I told him to. I was like, hey man, if you want somebody who is really going to give you the real skinny on your rhymes, RK is probably going to be the guy to do it. Because, even as a teacher, I'm hella busy. So the only time I get a chance to really work one-on-one with him is when he either comes over or when we're, on a Discord call and we're writing together. But most of the time, he's got a beat on, I got a beat on, we're both muted and we just see each other.
Everyone listening to the stream, by the way, check out Sci-Fi on Spotify and get ready for his upcoming album, Dimensions Reassembled. Also, the title,
Reassembled.
Realities Reassembled. Because first off, his first album, Golden, the single with you on it, Adam, fucking
Adam
golden. Adam is so dope. So y'all absolutely have to check that out and get ready for his new upcoming album. He has this cool promo video he shared with me of the artist creating the album art with the title track played over it. I thought it was a brilliant piece of marketing material.
Yeah, not RK, but Odd Makes Art, which is very similar sounding to your name, by the way.
Has that hard K sound in it.
Yeah, I could rhyme it. I could figure that out. But Odd Makes Art, who is a member of Grand Unified, who did the cover art, and then Clifford Douglas, who is one of the highest standing members within the collective, also did the digital artwork side of that cover. So, Grand Unified being the collective that it is, I love when collective projects become that. And that's why it's important to have a community of writers or a community of creators, like Savvy does, RK, you're a part of many different creative circles and collectives. And if you don't foster that, you don't build that community, then you're essentially going to be languishing in your own isolation. And I just don't think that's good for any creative.
I completely agree.
Y'all,
go Stabby.
Gray, you're in LA, right?
No. I'm in Phoenix. I obviously grew up in LA. Yeah, but
you're from LA. Okay, because this is perfect, right? So we're describing 3 cities right now: Buffalo, which is where RK is; Chicago, which is where I live; and LA, which is where you're from. Can you describe LA for us real quick?
Depends on what part of LA, but I guess I'll start with that. LA.
Oh, he's Hollywood Hills, I think.
Yeah. Well, okay. So I was just gonna say that. So,
describe the whole city. We're just doing setting, and I just realized we have a person from each of the cities on this stream right now, which was not intentional. That just happened. So we might.
I just have to shout out New Orleans. Anytime someone attaches me to Buffalo, I just have to make it clear I rep New Orleans now. New Orleans is the greatest city on the planet. Love for New Orleans.
Yeah. So I would say it is a balkanized place of race and class, a balkanized city of race and class, a very sectarian, you got your, little Tokyos, Chinatowns, little Korea, obviously primarily Crenshaw Black District. You got the white ritzy Hollywood Hills area. You got kind of the suburbs, Pasadena and Altadena and Burbank and stuff like that. And then obviously on the far west side, you got Venice and West LA and all the beach cities and stuff like that. You start going down towards Orange County and you start getting into the, obviously South Central LA, the real main part of LA. Going out to the west side, you got Inglewood, Compton, Gardena, Long Beach, Hawthorne, San Pedro, Rancho Palos Verdes. You got basically in kind of the urban sprawl, you got these pockets of wealth and pockets of class that sit on these hills and in these gated communities and stuff like that. And pretty much everywhere else is, working class people. I'm not going to let my Clipper bias and Laker Clipper rivalry get into this, but you have a solid community of working class people who just want to see their sports teams win and, keep the cost of living down, but you're going to be a prisoner to the prices, the parking, some of the people, just anything that starts with a P, you want to kind of avoid in LA. So, that's kind of my description of Los Angeles.
We have to put that line in the book. It's not anything that starts with a P you have to avoid.
Yeah.
That has to be a direct quote in the book. I do have to say real quick, based on your description. So hills and valleys. And you said pockets of wealth. Is it fair to say that the wealth is on the hills and the working class is in the valleys, and that's just how it always works? Like the higher ground, the higher the wealth?
Yeah, some parts, but then you got IE, and then you got some of the valley cities that are very wealthy. So I don't necessarily know if that follows that line, but yeah, I mean, there are, Hollywood Hills, the farther up the 5 north you go, the more kind of ritzy and more spread out it gets. There are some outlier cities too that people don't really talk about: Palmdale, Lancaster, Riverside, Pomona, stuff like that. And to be fair, LA is LA. So there's a reason for, people to be like, it's all LA. But when you get in LA, nothing could be further from the truth. Rancho Cucamonga couldn't be more different than Riverside, and they're pretty close to each other. So you can imagine how different Riverside is from LA or Compton or Watts or, wherever. It just depends. Like the politics in LA are going to be different than the politics in Compton or Long Beach or anything like that. So, you just have different social politics and different social subcultures that pop up in some of these places.
I just want to quickly say I was laughing at Sage because the line "avoid everything with P," and then Sage says "wet ass P word," and
wait,
also
I put
Sage
that in
loves
here.
who watches the Watcher. Sage loves who watches the Watcher.
Oh, that's
and they already
that's
been
so
that, yeah.
dude.
Who watches the Watchers is dope. I love anyone who uses the word dope. I saw this video, this like grandmother, and she's like in her 80s. She's like, that's dope. I'm like, hell yeah, grandma, that shit is dope as fuck. I just wanted to be like, yeah. It's like, man. So I love that. I appreciate that.
Cool grandparents are like this extra level of enlightenment. I feel like there's nothing cooler than a cool grandparent.
Oh yeah. Well, I would love to be a cool grandparent, but I never want to have a kid in the first place. So
Well,
that's
I think
the hard
part of
part is like my goal is to be a cool grandma, but I never want to have to be a mom. So it's kind of hard.
I have a reason for this though. It's because I think we all crave a long life. I mean, I won't say all. I'll say for the most part, a majority of people crave a long life. It's and in a way that's deemed success. So if you can be cool, coupled with that success of a long life and healthiness, I think it does add to the cool factor because it's what we all aspire to be.
Do you think
and
that
only the lucky few get to be.
Do you think there's some subconscious jealousy that we all have towards old people? Like, was when young people hate old people, do you think there's some subconscious jealousy that they have the security of having lived a long life, but the rest of us are still uncertain if that'll happen for us?
Well, because being young is easy. I mean, any idiot can be young and do something stupid and die. Getting to the point where you're old enough to live through all of these lessons and pass them on to another generation, that's hard.
I also think, Savvy, you're giving it a introspection that I don't believe young people have at that, depending on what age you consider young.
Well, see, I don't know. I've been afraid of death my entire life. Like as a small child, I would regularly be jealous of old people because they were still living and I had no idea if I could die at any moment. But I was also like a very like depressed child who just thought about mortality all the time.
How old were you when you first found out about death?
This was a podcast discussion.
I know. That's why I was asking.
Yes. Yeah. Well, dude, okay. Actually, yeah, I've talked about this before. I was 5. I was watching I Love Lucy on the screen, and I knew that Lucille Ball was dead.
That's so young.
I felt because Lucille Ball was dead, and I was watching I Love Lucy on TV, and I was thinking about the fact that, I was watching this show and this lady who was entertaining and making me laugh, and I was enjoying her presence in my life, that she was dead, and she had no concept of the fact that I was enjoying her presence in my life, because it didn't matter whether to her, from her perspective, it wouldn't matter whether she was being enjoyed by people or not, because her legacy wouldn't matter to her own perception, because she's dead and has no perception. And obviously I didn't have the words for that, but that concept hit me as a child and I started crying. And I tried to explain this to my mom. I was like, Mom, I don't want to die. One day we're going to die and I don't want to die and have no concept of anything anymore. And she didn't know how to handle it. So, and then I would regularly, as a small child, I don't know, 6, 7 years old, I would get out photo albums and look at pictures from a couple months ago and just think about how I was farther away from death in that picture than I am now, and feel jealous for the person in the old picture because I knew I would have had more time to live.
See, I'm slightly different from you in that my fear of death isn't really a fear of death. It's more of a fear of dying, the act of dying, I guess, because, whatever that means, it could be a long, drawn out sort of thing, or, it could be in a very kind of lonely, isolated way, and certain, who knows what the dying aspect, but the death part, the actual finality of death itself, I don't know if I have the fear of that you express. I guess I would transfer that over more to the dying part and knowing that I am dying as opposed to the actual death itself. Because I almost feel like human beings have kind of accepted and struggled with death, the finality of death, for years. I don't think that's something new for us. But I think the amount of information and stimuli that we get today regarding how people die, we used to only know of 3 or 4 different ways people died, just because of our exposure to information. Now there's so many different ways we know. I can get ass cancer. I can get ball cancer. I can get cancer. I can get some other shit that's not cancer that'll kill me in less time. It just doesn't matter.
Did you get fucking struck by lightning?
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Dude,
Yesterday there was a storm in
Yeah.
Phoenix where there was lightning and shit hitting the ground and hail and shit. It was crazy. Anyway, I just thought I'd bring that up.
What scares me the most is when I learned about aneurysms when I was in middle school, and I first learned that people could get random brain aneurysms that just kill them on the spot without any warning, without ever having it been detected. Like that. Okay, now I'm starting to panic because I could have a brain aneurysm right now.
But you gotta smoke more weed. You're not gonna have an aneurysm.
Would that make her more paranoid though? That's my question. Because I don't want to prescribe weed.
That's why I stopped smoking weed.
She needs a good indica dominant hybrid that'll just relax you, get you a nice little body buzz. You'll sit down, you'll think about all the shit that you've been writing about. You won't actually write it because it'll procrastinate you. But you'll think about the stuff you want to write. And then eventually when the high wears off, you'll start wanting to be more productive and stuff like that. You'll actually get to write.
Well, that's why I stopped smoking weed, because I would get really paranoid and start having panic attacks about the fact that I was about to die. And then I would have to watch Everybody Loves Raymond. Have I told you about that? I've told RK about this, how if I would get too high and panic, the only thing that will calm me down is watching Everybody Loves Raymond, because that show is so aggressively normal.
We bonded over that because mine was The Office, and I told you about how I was about to puke from alcohol once in my life, and I just watched The Office on my iPhone for an hour and a half until the feeling passed.
Every time if I get
there are two versions of The Office, just recently.
Yeah, the British and the American version.
I had no clue.
Yeah,
I had no clue.
They're pretty different.
Very different.
Well, they're very different. They're identical for the first season. They're beat for beat identical, but then after that, they just branch off and are two completely different, not even similar shows.
I see. Yeah, I mean, I never got into The Office, but I do appreciate and love the humor of it. The humor of that show is incredible. I wish that I would have gotten into it when it was actually popping, because I felt like I would have had more, been able to relate to the show. But, The Office humor is absolutely, hilarious. And Steve Carell is The Office all-timer.
When I had mono, that's when I got into The Office, because I couldn't do anything. So I just watched it all in a row, straight through while I had mono.
I was in 8th grade. And I was with my brother, and he had downloaded all of the episodes up to season 6, and he just made me sit down and watch all of them with him because he loved it and he didn't want to watch it alone. I also have to – I'll be right back in 30 seconds. I just want to disrupt this chat by saying I've never seen Star Trek before I go.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I told him.
Yeah, RK told me he's going to watch Star Trek, which I'm happy about. I want to hear his opinions, but yeah.
So the thing about a first timer who watches Star Trek, I mean, me personally, I'll just say is, what are you trying to get out of the show? Because if you're trying to just find entertaining episodes, right? If you're just trying to watch it like Law and Order or some shit, I can find you the Law and Order type episodes, right? Because there are, you know what I mean? There are Law and Order.
Yeah, well, when I first started watching Star Trek, I got introduced through a few of the amazing episodes through The Next Generation.
Yeah.
And so those were the ones that got me hooked. And then I went through and watched it in order, which is the same thing I basically did with Degrassi, which was I got hooked with it. But Degrassi and Star Trek are the same show. I'm going to make a video about that at some point. Just one's in space and one's not.
I was talking to someone who was a mechanical engineer who we're going to have on the Gray and Gold podcast. Speaking of which, Savvy, we got to get you back on there.
I will come back on your podcast whenever you want. Every day, RK texts me in the morning and is like, "Do you want to come on the podcast today?" And I'm like, "Yep." And then he never texts me back about it. So let's just, since RK is I don't know, taking a shit right now and listening to us. I don't know what he's doing. But since you mentioned that you're listening, yes, I'm going to drag RK real quick. Yeah, he'll text me and be like, "You want to be on the podcast today?" And I'll be like, "Yeah." And then he'll just text me about other things throughout the day. And then it'll be the next day and I still won't have been on the podcast again.
That's funny. Well, we wouldn't be able to do it every day, but it's one of those things where if you go 2 weeks or 3 weeks without being on the show, it probably seems too long. So.
Yeah, I want to be. Because I was on one episode, and then we recorded that other one where the audio got lost.
Yeah, that was I still can't convert that file. I don't know what the hell happened to it.
I don't know
I
what
double click it every
happened.
now and then just to see if it will convert, and it never does. It won't play, it won't convert.
I was so drunk. I was like off the handle, but that's where we all talked about our conspiracy theories, which was kind of fun.
Yeah, I had some pretty good conspiracy theories. I had some pretty good ones. I mean, I just look. We all agree that the Epstein one is not a conspiracy.
I think the fact that people are trying to say he committed suicide is the actual conspiracy. Like,
Okay.
how? Like, who believes that?
Well,
I'm not wearing
okay,
my
I
Epstein didn't
believe-
kill himself
hold on,
friendship
hold on.
bracelet right now.
Sav, I
What's
agree that they believe that. I agree.
Wait, she took a shot at me while I was gone, and I am sorry. I have to defend my honor real
Okay.
quick. On multiple occasions, I have invited you on, and we actually go on to record, and you can no longer do it.
What?
Okay, now you
no,
all
that's
talk about
never
Epstein.
that's never once
That's 2 million
happened. What are you
percent
talking
happened.
about?
We can go
That's
through our
not me you're
Facebook.
thinking of. You're thinking of some other aggressively attractive person. I don't know who you're thinking of.
I love the humble brag. I love the humble
Humble
brag.
brag.
Let's just go back to
That's me all the time.
So as far as
There's nothing wrong
the
with loving
Epstein-
yourself as long as you don't love yourself as much as Rachel Hollis does. Don't call yourself a Sherpa.
Damn. The thing about the Epstein thing though is that I'm waiting for this Ghislaine chick to be Epsteined, and then it'll make it all the like. Because when they said that she was diagnosed with corona, I thought immediately it was like, oh yeah, she's gonna die, no question. They're just gonna they're gonna use corona as a way, because that's I mean, I'm not gonna lie to anybody in here. I'm not a big conspiracy guy, but that Epstein shit is on a whole different level of stench. That Epstein shit is.
Oh yeah.
I mean, if you don't know that there's some funky shit going on with that, if you don't think that there is, then hey man, I look, because I mean, I was a big proponent of the Michael Hastings conspiracy. Do you know that one?
I
No.
don't think so.
So
No, I
Michael
don't.
Hastings was a reporter who did that story on that general. Remember that general who was like abusing his power, and he was like ordering fucking hits and shit over in combat theaters and stuff, and like he was doing all kind of crazy shit. And this reporter, who I think he worked for RT at the time. I don't know if he worked for RT at the time, but he was like a real left-leaning reporter or whatnot. You know me, I don't play sides, but I'm just letting people know what side of the aisle he came from. And so he did this story on this general, and man, like about 5-6 months later, my man had this like weird car wreck where his car just sped up out of control for no reason and crashed at 4 something in the morning.
Shit, I remember this now.
Do you
I'm
remember
looking it up right now. Yes, I absolutely remember this now.
Can you give me some of the details?
I don't remember
name is
this.
Michael Hastings,
I might have
right?
just
Did I
been
say that?
unaware of my surroundings.
His name is Michael Hastings.
Yeah. So I just thought that he was knocked off because he fucking did a story on a high-ranking dude in the deep state, and that the dude in the deep state was making an example to media, like, hey, don't go poking around. Like, listen, you'll die over this shit.
Well, do you remember? Oh, sorry, man.
No, you're good.
I was gonna say, like, do you remember because like this is not that far fetched. I mean, like, remember the whole Putin thing when he literally poisoned the guy with uranium infused tea, and he died in England like 2 weeks later.
What? I didn't know about this at all, but this sounds fucking fascinating.
Yeah,
So Putin, I know Putin was an ex-KGB guy, right?
One second, I'm gonna look this up real quick because like
Yeah.
they know without a shadow of a doubt that it was a murder because he was poisoned. Because he was poisoned, or an assassination, but not Michael Hastings. This is the guy who died in the UK because he had uranium in his system, and it's like you don't just randomly have that in your system.
No, you're poisoned.
Yeah,
You were
UK,
absolutely poisoned.
Russia, uranium. Let's see if I can find this real quick. Yeah. Oh no, absolutely, he was absolutely poisoned, and then they think that this was like because he was going after Putin, poisoning Alexander Litvinenko.
I was thinking like this is why you have a food and drink taster, but he said he died. You said he died 2 weeks later, so the food and
3
drink
weeks
taster,
later of acute radiation syndrome, so it wouldn't have saved him.
Yeah, it wouldn't have saved him at all. In fact, the taster would have died too because he's an asshole.
Yeah, he had made allegations about the misdeeds of FSB and his public deathbed accusations that Russian President Vladimir Putin was behind his unusual malady resulted in worldwide media coverage. Yeah, he said that Putin poisoned him, and I mean, chances are someone in Russia poisoned him since he escaped Russia. He was critical of Russia, and it was 2006, and then he was poisoned by polonium-210, an isotope. What is it? It's a radioactive isotope.
Damn! Don't be an important or media figure to be assassinated, because that's not going to feel good.
Don't betray people who can kill you. I mean, boy,
anybody can kill your ass. Though. That's the thing.
No, like don't work your way up.
Get you.
I'm sorry. Don't work your way up to a dictator's regime if you're worried about it. Like, listen,
you could be a second cousin of motherfucking. What's a dictator of what's cousin in Korea, North Korea? Kim Jong-un. Remember, he was feeding his cousins that weren't even high-ranking officials. Well, I guess one of those dudes was.
Okay, but he's a special level of nuts. He also just he literally fired a missile at one person. Like, he's fucking nuts.
I'm not gonna lie. I might use that in a rhyme.
Yeah, this is
why Gray. I would love that. Do that.
This is why Gray can't listen to everything, because he just absorbs everything he hears.
No, I can't.
I love it. No, that's the way to be.
I'm so flawed in that way. People are like, you should listen to this. Hey man, do you listen to this? I'm like, bro, I can't. There's no way I can listen to this.
Oh God! If you listen to one Tekashi 6ix9ine track, your career would just be done.
Yeah, it would ruin me.
you would never be able to rhyme again.
Greg, can you write a diss track for our book when it comes out? Can you just like trash it?
Actually, Savvy does want your help with diss tracks because she wants to go.
I want to write a bunch of diss. I want to write a diss track. I started writing a diss track for Rachel House, but it was more like just a poem, really.
Here's the thing about
I can't rap.
If you're gonna diss somebody, don't have someone ghostwrite it. Because if I'm
definitely, no, that's shitty. I just meant like I don't know how to rap. I know how to write. I just don't know how to rap.
Well,
I can write a poem and then pretend it's a rap.
The anatomy of a diss track is, in the words of Eminem, let's see who can out petty who. And that's essentially what a diss track is who can be the pettiest, who can be the most literal, petty, wetty, mixed, flufferton. And just talk about, like, if we're going to war, Savvy, if I see you got a chipped toenail, I'm going in on that toenail. If you got a gap in your teeth, if you got a lazy eye, if you're half black, half white, if you have a history of being in porn, or if I know you got a drug habit or some shit like that, it's all on the table. Like, there's nothing out of bounds. And now, listen, I come from an age where you didn't even talk about people's kids. Motherfuckers are talking about people's kids and shit now.
I think that's so rude. There. I love listening to people's diss tracks, but if you bring up someo's kids, that's just rude. Like, I think that's, just leave their kids out of it. Like, when I've been writing, I guess I'll call it a diss poem because it's not a song yet. It's a poem. When I've written my diss poem for Rachel Hollis, I don't talk about her kids. I have to update it because she went and got divorced now. I'll talk about her divorce, but not her kids.
Right. So here's where I would say there's a difference. There used to be a difference in battling someone and dissing someone. Yeah. If I'm dissing you, all bets are off. I can talk about anything because you can talk about anything. If it's a battle, there's rules. If it's a battle, we're just seeing, for the love of the culture, let's see who can win the crowd. That's all we're trying to do. When you're battling somebody, you're just trying to win the crowd. It's not about being personal. And I've seen battles where it gets personal, where it's like, bro, I don't even understand why it was necessary to even say that. Like, okay, but he got the reaction of the crowd. He won the crowd. Okay, boom. But me, there's certain things I wouldn't say because I just feel like out of respect. I'm not talking about your dead homie. I'm not talking about your gang. I'm not talking about your moms. I can show that I'm better than you without going there, I feel like. But in this new era of, do it for the gram, for the clout, whatever, people are going to say whatever it's necessary to get them clicks. So
I actually have grievances on this topic. I got grievances for those of you who watch Seinfeld.
Well, wait, can someone make a diss track against me? I want to be dissed. Like, that's my fetish. It's not really my fetish.
You can't ask for it. You have to do something diss-worthy.
Diss me, daddy. That's Savvy over there.
Daddy.
Yeah, you gotta do something diss-worthy.
No, so anyway, I do have a problem with some diss tracks today, or I guess I should say battles today, and it is a lot of people are trying, a lot of artists I've noticed, and I'm saying a lot, but I can only think of 2 off the top of my head that I've seen it, so I'm just applying it to a lot. They are saying, look, when it comes to a diss, anything goes. So I don't know why you're having a problem with what I'm saying. It's only music. It's like, no, it's you're right. Anything goes in this, but it does not mean that you're free of the consequences of your words. That person can genuinely hate you afterwards if you're going after everything.
Agreed.
And I
feel like the idea that you're not supposed to get emotional when people say things that are supposed to clearly be emotionally triggering,
tear you down to like your lowest, most bare form. Like
Well, okay, that's the thing. You can tear me down, right? But let's say like you're going after my kids. I don't have any kids, but let's just assume that I did for this argument. To me, is it weak for me to react to that? Is it emotional? Is it like, well, it depends on who you're asking, but I don't think it's weak for a person to react to that, because to me, you're crossing into this fuzzy boundary of nature as opposed to society. And this is where I feel like we're playing 2 different games here. Some people are playing the game of society. A few of us are playing the game of nature, and most people don't know which game they're playing.
And it's why I give a bit of a pass to gun bars in battle specifically, because I understand that people just want to talk battles and maybe not want to get too offensive, just sort of flex their creative energy while keeping the aggressive tone.
Yeah, if you can flip a gun bar that's actually creative, I don't mind. I don't think it's lazy. And it's in the metaphorical context of battling, right? We battle with guns, right? We go to war with guns. We don't use swords anymore. I mean, as much as I love the sword metaphor and analogy, it's like, how many people think about swords when they think of battle? No, they think about fucking guns and rifles and missiles and shit. So the fact that people are going to talk about those things, if I'm going that savvy and I'm like, I'm going to bomb your face with tons of missiles, and, it's like, yeah, you can understand that concept. But if I use some weird ass, I'll go back in time and nuke you before you were born, most street dudes are going to check out. And even most culture dudes are going to check out. They're like, all right, bro, I don't know what you're talking about, but I'm going to go watch some, what'd you say? Seinfeld,
yeah. I got grievances.
So I think a diss track is, the best diss tracks are usually between people who knew each other, personal. Ice Cube versus NWA.
LL Cool J versus Cannabis was unreal.
LL versus Cannabis was a little bit more personal than business, but it was more business for LL. That was business.
It was totally business for LL because he dissed him on his own track.
I should write a diss track for RK, and I can diss him for using P90X.
Hey, I don't know. RK's got bars. I don't know if you even want that work.
I don't know. It might. Well, dude, I think it might elevate both our channels. It could be a purely clickbait move.
It would be awesome. I would tune in.
I'm so anti-conflict when it comes to friends, though. I would cave under the pressure.
Yeah.
That's the thing, though. Yeah, you would just be like, yeah, okay, Savvy, I love you.
No,
I actually like my friends. It's awkward.
I do too, dude. I just like to roast my friends too.
It'd be the most complimentary diss track.
Yeah.
He'd just be nothing but compliments. So nice.
he would be like saying
Everything is dope. Just come out aggressive compliments.
I respect.
It's so ill. I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah, I respect how you got your LLC. Respect the division of your shareholders.
You're keeping it real every single time. It's like, what?
Donating 10% of your profits to dogs in need.
It's like, you do so much charity work. I'm trying to figure out, like, if the person would figure out you're being dissed or not, or they're like, are they dissing me? Or are they? That's the kind of issue I had with the Machine Gun Kelly Eminem thing.
He complimented his rhiming and his technical ability. It was
he did say he was the GOAT. He was like, yeah, you're probably the GOAT. It's like, okay, so this is probably an over battle.
I had way too much fun following that. How long ago was that even? Because I'm
over
still
a year.
like,
it's 2 years.
Over a year ago.
2 years?
Because I'm still like investing myself in. I'm like, this is stupid. I shouldn't care about this anymore.
Yeah,
but I have also this
music.
I don't. That's something I disagree with you on. I don't like his new music at all. I think it's terrible.
It's so catchy. It's so Warped Tour. Machine Gun Kelly, he's putting out like Warped Tour. He's putting out like Blink-182 style music right now, and I love Blink-182.
I hate it. It doesn't work for him. I don't like it.
I hate to be this guy. I have not heard one single Machine Gun Kelly song other than the diss song that he did to M. So I had the context of the battle. It was like, okay, I needed to understand, because you go blow by blow. And I thought that it was interesting, his approach. And
Wait, we should
anti-diss
do that.
tracks. That's dope. Spin says you guys should do
Yeah,
it.
RK, we should make diss tracks, but they're
That's
really
too
like we're just
Degrassi for me. That's way too Degrassi for me.
How is that too Degrassi for you? When
Because
did
that's
they ever
something
do?
Degrassi would so do.
Really? There's no, dude. There. Well, actually, well, there
That
was
just
the
screams
episode in.
Degrassi tries
There
to
was
be
the
hip.
episode in Degrassi High, the original, where Kathleen did a rap for her friend LD, who was in the hospital with cancer, as a get well song.
I'm about to watch Who Watches the Watchers. That's going to be my introduction to Star Trek.
The Star Trek episode. It's a good episode.
That is a good episode. That City on the Edge of Forever, I've been watching on repeat.
Is that another one that
City
you
on
named
the
the
Edge of
song
Forever.
after?
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I named the
Oh,
album
dude,
City on the Edge of Forever. After
That's what it was.
My desktop background for like 2 years has been some fan art I did based on the City on the Edge of Forever. That's probably the best, one of the best original series episodes out there.
You know, it's easily top 3. It's always one of the ones that people cite as far as like.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, it is. No, it is. It totally is.
Guys, in the novel that I'm revising right now that I got the publishing contract for, one of the characters is writing fan fiction based on the City on the Edge of Forever, and then it parallels into what actually ends up happening to her when she gets accidentally sent back in time.
I'm sorry. I just
There's a lot of
got
Star Trek
chance to
references
check out
in this novel.
No, for sure. I'm sorry. I just got a chance to check out these comments. I had no idea I could look at the comments. I was on private chat the whole time.
Oh yeah, we
Appreciate
got a
everybody
lot.
tuning
Oh
in.
yeah, we get a lot of we're cool. We're getting a lot of comments. We got 10 viewers right now. Look at that.
Well, this
Oh,
definitely
wow.
turned into a full podcast episode.
No, for
It
sure.
definitely did, but we're still gonna get novel work done, dude. Look at all this. We got
Look
we
at all the
wrote
work
this
you
little
did that I
poem.
get to put my name on.
We wrote this little poem about LA. You will be a prisoner to parking, prices, politics, P word.
That alliteration is beautiful.
And that is poetry.
Oh man,
Boom.
I'm about to record RK, and I got something to send you for. I think you'll like as far as alliteration. I wrote something to finish Astral Dawn. I think you're really gonna like.
Oh shit, I'm looking forward to it now.
Yeah.
Man.
It
Yeah.
just lets me know that my students are heavily influenced by me, even though I don't flex certain creative muscles that I can. And it's like, if I couldn't, then my students wouldn't be able to do certain things. So I feel pretty good about that. That's pretty flattering. Also, before I get out of here, I told Savvy, we got to get her back in on the show. We love having her on. I love having her on. We also having this person who I had a conversation with before I came on with you guys, which I'm still kind of glowing over as far as, a person who's someone that the conversation just went to an incredible place. But his name is Ben Halderman of the LifeShip, BioShip or Bio Backup Program project or whatever. Basically, it's a genetic backup of life and them storing it off world. And yeah, that's
amazing,
cool.
dude. I'm so excited to listen to that.
Yeah, it's like ancestry.com, but for people who want to put their DNA in a space.
To preserve so the aliens come by and then bring you back to life.
I can think of 10 million people who want that right now.
I can agree. I would argue I could
Put my
think of.
DNA in space, get cloned, have sex with an alien. That's my dream.
Would you?
I'm trying to clap alien cheeks. You didn't know RK?
Yeah, exactly, dude. No, yeah, I'd fuck aliens as long as they're, not just like a green cloud of.
Well, would they have? Well, here's my
some
question:
kind of
would they have to be
substance.
humanoid?
Probably. I think they would have to. Not necessarily. Because there's infinite possibilities for what aliens could be like. So I don't want to be so reductionist. But I would say that they would have to have the same. They would have to have a way to clearly communicate consent. Like if aliens are more like what we have as like certain types of animals, then no, because that would be weird. But like if we could communicate clearly and like talk to one another on the same emotional and intelligence level, then potentially it would depend on a variety of factors.
But what if you're the animal in their world?
I also think I just to interject here, I think we're getting into what the definition of actual sex is, because if you're you're not talking about just compatible genitalia here. If you're talking about intimacy
Right.
being kind of the overlapping canopy or umbrella through
Right.
which all of this type of activity is under, then I think that, like Savvy said, if you're able to communicate that intimacy and that desire for another being, as long as it's consensual, that technically would qualify as sex or intimacy or sexual relations.
Yeah, well, yeah,
correct?
because aliens, they might, their sex might be so different than ours because they're so different. So yeah,
If they
but
hold their hand
really
and they orgasm,
yeah, maybe.
that would be wild.
Dude, that's okay. That's like a no, dude. That's okay. So that's a Star Trek fan fiction trope. Is that Spock has a hand fetish?
I did not know that.
I didn't know that.
That
must
well,
be a TOS thing.
Oh, I read because I read way too much fan fiction. But well, it's because Vulcans, they do this right because they don't shake hands, and it's because their hands have the points where they can telepathically communicate with one another.
Okay.
So people in fan fiction have taken that a step further and are like, yeah, and that means that their fingers are so sensitive, which makes it a sexual fetish for them to do things with their hands. So now Vulcans do hand sex stuff. Well, also because Vulcans and Romulans make out by rubbing their hands together in certain TOS episodes.
What are Romulans?
Discovery. Hey, I know you don't like Discovery, but that's consistent in Discovery.
Okay, I will give Discovery a shot. Okay, but here's the thing, dude. I was just so mad at hearing that in Discovery they didn't. I was hoping that there was going to be a big reveal that Discovery was taking place in the mirror universe the whole time, and then I would have been like, "That slaps, dude." But the fact that would have been so cool.
But did you see how they resolved that? Did you finish that season out? Do you know what happened?
No, I did. No, so I have nowhere to talk. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was gonna say they actually did some pretty good stuff regarding that.
I will give it a shot because both you and my best friend that I know in real life that is also a huge Star Trek fan has told me that Discovery was pretty good. So I should listen to you guys and stop being such a dick.
How was Picard, that new show? Was that anything?
I loved it. I mean, I cried.
I don't want to. I'm going to mute myself for this.
I cried. I laughed. It was everything I wanted it to be. I think. So Star Trek Picard is different.
Aphrodite's an original series fan like me. I know this because I feel like we talked about my Uhura Barbie at one point and all of that, which is good shit. I'm going to bring Uhura Barbie on this right now.
Picard is a show, in my opinion, that is it's kind of like I'm not going to call it a love letter to TNG, but it seems like a person. Oh my goodness, is that Uhura?
Yeah, that's what she said it was. Her Barbie.
I would pay all the monies for that.
Savvy, put on your headphones so you can hear him.
She can't.
There we go. We're good now.
Uhura Barbie is so cool because, dude, she's got joints. She's got joints for days. Like, she's got arm joints. She's got wrist joints. She's got knee and hip joints. Although, like, I guess I feel like Aphrodite gets me because she's a doll person. If you're not a toy person, you don't understand the excitement of joints.
Well, Aphrodite, I appreciate you inspiring her to go get her Uhura. Can you show that to the screen? I would pay all the monies for that. Oh my goodness.
It's not expensive. I got her on eBay for, I think eBay or Amazon for
you didn't make
$25. I did not make her, no.
How much?
25.
Barbie Uhura.
Yeah, this was like a Barbie release. Like they did like a Barbie Star Trek thing back in the day. Well, I got her for not that much money, dude. I don't know if.
Oh, that's another.
I'll see if I can find you one.
No, I got you.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask, did you get her used?
I was like,
she was like $25, $30. She was not that much money.
Did you get her used?
I'm gonna have her sit on top of my screen while I
Yeah, I got all my Next Generation figures all on my big screen up there up top. So I totally get it.
Yeah.
What sort of figures do you go with? Are you like the vinyl type?
Me?
Well, I've got. Hold up, guys. We're talking about toys now. I'll be right back.
Aphrodite got hers on Amazon for $25. Gray switching the cameras for us.
So these up here.
We're getting a studio tour, Savs. Studio tour.
I love it, dude. Well, because I brought Deanna Troi over here from Next Generation. She doesn't have any joints. She's just a statue.
So I got what is this?
Yoshi?
Yeah, Yoshi up there for no reason. But I got Kern. Actually, that's not Kern. That's Core. This is Kern. Riker.
Oh my god, I love Riker. He's so cute. I
So
love
you're
the-
all about the Funkos.
Picard.
Oh my god, I need to get more Funko Pop. Thank you for being a Funko Pop person. Tyler makes fun of me for liking Funko Pops.
Funkos
But
are
you know
adorable.
what?
My brother is
I'm gonna
obsessed with them.
I'm gonna get Star Trek Funko Pops, and no one can judge me.
So Data, Geordi,
I love the Data one.
Worf. Yeah, Data's great.
What's the deal with the yellow versus the? I know that there's a trope with Star Trek going back to TV tropes of like the people in red dye.
Oh yeah, it's like the different positions. So like, well, in the original, it's like gold is command, red is like operations and engineering, and blue is science. But then they swap it around a little bit for the next generation.
That's where our color coordinating in the UF came from. You know, our operations officers are yellow, and our security officers are red, and science officers are blue.
So you need to recruit
yeah.
Savvy
So
for Star
Aphrodite
Citizen.
also got an Uhura doll from Amazon for $25. So there's definitely I did too. Okay, so she's definitely available there. Yes, dude, I'm in love with Data too. He's fantastic.
Savvy, you would make such a great Star Citizen addition for Gray's crew, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like Second Life in space.
That's a great way to put it.
You put it that way. I stole it from you.
Oh, I totally forgot. I mean, I smoke a lot of weed, so I totally did not remember I said that. But that's a very good way of putting it. But yeah, that interview with that guy Ben Halderman, that's going to be awesome. That's we're going to do that next week on Tuesday, actually.
Who is Data that Aphrodite was so in love with?
Data is the best character of the Next Generation. I'm in love with him.
I would actually agree with that.
He's also my dog's favorite character. Chewie loves Data.
Yeah, I'd say that's probably not only the best character, but the best story arc.
Oh yeah, definitely.
In the Next Generation, the best story arc in all of Star Trek is actually Nog on Deep Space Nine.
I like Nog, dude. He's cool.
Nog is so awesome.
Didn't he die recently?
Oh, don't remind me. Just make my heart cry.
Oh, I'm sorry.
The actor?
I'm sorry.
Yeah, Aaron Eisenberg, who is
yeah.
If you're a Trekkie at all, like that character, because you saw him as a child actor, and he went from the character went from just like this thief Ferengi who, you know, wasn't very a likable character, all the way up into like a Starfleet war hero. And it was just that the portrayal of that character. There's this one scene where I'm sure if you're a Trekkie, you know about the scene where he's trying to convince Captain Sisko to sign his letter of recommendation for Starfleet. And it is very reminiscent of the Will Smith, "Why Doesn't He Want Me" scene. I think they're very comparable. They're very comparable scenes, bro.
I never thought of that, but you're right.
And you're all about connecting Star Trek to like terrestrial shows.
Yeah, man, because people think that it's like non-relatable. People think Star Trek is just some.
See, dude, that's the thing. That's why I've been saying all along. Star Trek is same show as Degrassi. By the same show, I don't mean it's literally the same show. I mean there's so much connection between them. Other day, I was watching Degrassi: The Next Generation, right? And there's this character named Wesley. And Tyler was like trying to remember who's the character that nerdy kid that I like on Degrassi. I'm like, Wesley. And he's like, no, that's the nerdy kid from The Next Generation. And I'm like, yeah, we are watching The Next Generation, but we were talking about Degrassi: The Next Generation, and he meant that Wesley was a character on Star Trek: The Next Generation. And I was like, yeah, but both of these series have a character named Wesley, dude. And he didn't believe me, so he had to look it up. There's so many parallels.
What I hope is that people understand that for Trekkies, we understand that it's all kind of soft science fiction. You know, the idea of finding a bunch of humanoid aliens that are so similar that they can be on each other's ships and talk and fight each other. We understand that. But I don't think we watch Star Trek for that. I think the people who watch Star Trek, who love the show and the franchise, understand that Roddenberry's vision for the future was one of hope and optimism, in that humanity would prevail despite its, you know, partisan and sectarian differences here on Earth. And that's what I think we watch it for. Certain series are a little bit darker than others, but I think we do have the ability to kind of tell those stories through Star Trek. Aphrodite Lee says he got the story that everyone expected Jake Sisko to have. I was so proud of how they wrote the two of them. To me,
Dude,
the buddy relationship between Jake and Nog was the best buddy relationship on the show, even though Chief O'Brien and Dr. Bashir was also my, best.
Although I love Data and Geordi's friendship. I think they have
Data and Geordi as well. I also like Tom Paris and Ensign Kim. I also like Garrick and Dr. Bashir, which they could have went another direction with that if you wanted to make.
Dude, I love Garrick. Garrick's amazing, dude.
Yeah,
I loved Jake and Nog because, as much as The Next Generation is always going to be my favorite show, but I didn't like the way that Wesley was never treated like a child. And I liked that in DS9 you had Jake and Nog who were doing dumb child things and just being kids, and they were I don't know, 14 years old. So they just played pranks around the ship and did goofy shit. And I like that as opposed to Wesley, who was 14 years old. It was I'm an ensign now. And I was I don't want to, no, go away. I don't want to deal with it.
Yeah, think about it.
Although he had a hot mom. So there's that.
Yeah, you think about it where Jake and Nog, I mean, if you take Jake's age, who was about 11 or 12 when they got to the station, and then by season 7, which are 7 years later, Jake is 19, 20. He's basically an adult. And they wrote that progression into him. They wrote that. By the time the show was ending, Jake was giving his dad dating advice, and it was this is the same kid from the Muse episode where he fell in love with that alien chick, and it's just this is Jake, this is little Jake.
Okay, but can we talk about how Worf's son ages way faster than every other character on this show, and it's never really addressed? Alexander, he's Worf's girlfriend is pregnant. Whoa, what's up? She's gonna have a Klingon baby. And then he's 3 years old, a season later, and then he's 13, 2 seasons after that. I'm how is this kid aging so quickly?
Yeah, the actress that played her played another character in Deep Space Nine, where she was a part of the I don't know if you remember that episode where there's those genetically modified.
You've returned in time for the Star Trek discussion.
Yeah, they had the genetically modified people on Deep Space Nine that was I guess you want to call them failed versions of Bashir. But they were functional enough to figure out that the Federation was going to lose the war to the Dominion. At least they perceived that. They calculated that. The good thing about Star Trek is if you're not in a Trekkie, I can't spoil anything for you. If you're not a...
this is unrelated. I just got my YouTube ad payment for the month.
Hey, there you go.
Don't hold out. Tell us how much you made. Or don't.
How much I made?
Don't hurt my feelings.
Hold up your
No,
fingers.
I'm just kidding. I don't care. I live off of music.
I'm sure a lot of,
I live off. What'd you say?
$850 for her side income on YouTube, folks. Fuck yeah.
That's fucking awesome.
You can buy over 100 Subway sandwiches with that. You can buy almost 200.
You can buy a pound.
Or I could pay half my mortgage with it, but if you'd prefer sandwiches.
I love sandwiches. Also, I see that Netflix has every Star Trek show on it, so I might start that today if anyone wants to watch with me.
Oh, dude, yes. Although I do have.
We don't have to watch at the same time. We can just assign a number to get to by a certain day. We can say by this time next week you should have the first 5 episodes.
I know, dude. I should start writing a Star Trek fan fiction too. I'm writing it now that we're doing Fan Fiction Friday. I have a concentrated time where I'm gonna start writing Star Trek fan fiction too, because I've read so much of it that at this point it's why haven't I written any of it?
Hey, yeah, great. Well, before I get on out of here, I just want to, thank you guys for even inviting me on your lovely stream. I do appreciate chopping it up with you guys.
You're invited on our stream whenever you want to come on our stream, dude.
The pleasure is ours. I never get sick of you.
No, for sure. And everybody in the chat, you guys are more than welcome to come check out the Discord if you guys are interested in that. And
I definitely
let's post a link into the Discord.
I joined Gray's Discord 2 months ago, but have never talked there, and now I feel like it's too late to introduce myself.
No, you can. We have a literal introduce yourself channel where we require.
Okay, I'll introduce myself there. I'm so bad at keeping up on Discord.
Oh no, it's okay. And I mean, I tell people all the time, like, turn off the notifications for Discord because they can get crazy. But other than that, I think it's a great place to build a community. In fact, I feel like you should have your own Discord, Savvy. Like,
I did. I deleted it. Okay, here's
she had a drunk text Discord. I posted the link to the Discord in the private chat if you could.
RK, you literally just posted the link to Discord.
No, it's from his personal Discord.
Yeah, that's the Discord. Here, I'll send you the one you want to send.
Not bad.
Yeah, I made a Discord called Drunk Texts, and I would just, when I would get drunk, I would just text everyone everything that was on my mind, which was usually a series of like my conspiracy theories about Degrassi or all of the girls on Twitter that I had a crush on.
There, I put it in.
And then I got even drunker 2 days ago and deleted the Drunk Text Discord. So it went full cycle.
It was glorious.
Don't worry.
With that.
I will make a new Discord and it will have a Drunk Text channel in it, because the whole Discord I had to mark as not safe for work just because of I would say weird shit when I was drunk. So I just didn't want anyone who was young popping in. I know I betrayed you by deleting it. I'm so sorry. Okay, I just posted the link to, this is the Discord link, y'all. I posted it in the chat. Everyone go join Gray's Discord.
And thank you so much for joining us, Gray. If you want to hop on the Fanfiction Friday stream, it's midnight Eastern on my channel tonight.
Yeah, on RK's channel. Do it. It's going to be great.
We just get stoned or drunk and write fanfiction the whole time.
Absolutely. Well, this bowl's for you guys. I'm going to smoke it and get on out of here, but I do appreciate it. Good luck with the writing today. And I appreciate everybody in the chat for showing me love. I've always felt, very welcomed here, and I do appreciate it. Thank you.
The chat's a great place.
Yeah, man. Absolutely.
Shout out to the chat. I love you all.
Actually, before you go, you should hear our incredible titles that we have planned for this series and the companion pieces.
What, Pounded in the Butt by Shawn Boston's Big Titty Goth Aesthetic?
That's not the actual title. The title is Cancel Shawn Boston, but we have a bunch of other awesome titles.
Let's go to where is it? So yeah, we're writing a novel called Cancel Shawn Boston.
Just do Control F and look for the comment section, because that's where they all are. Oh, he's gone.
Oh, that's
all
true.
Good.
Oh, Gray left. Never mind. He'll never get to hear our amazing titles.
Ever, until we publish them.
Ever. All right, we're going back to describing settings because we are gonna get some good writing done on this.
Yeah, we're gonna finish this.
Although I'm gonna like make this into like a Tumblr poetry e-girl graphic or something.
And we'll put it in the book.
Dude, this is definitely right here. This is definitely on Shawn Boston's Instagram. He definitely did some good boy shit with this.
It's on his Tumblr. Wait, because he definitely blew up on Tumblr.
This is on Shawn Boston's Tumblr, right? Yeah. Oh, I can do that in an illustration.
But we have to make it. It can't be Tumblr. It has to be like Fumbler. It's not YouTube. It's BU, and it's not Facebook. It's Face Share, and it's not Twitter. It's Hitter. Instead of MySpace,
it's kind of like on Degrassi, they still have face range, even though they used Facebook in one episode. Now they're back to face range again.
Shit, what did I just? Oh, My Place for MySpace. What else is there? I can't be Omegle. It can be Go Mingle. Ogle Mogul, I dig that.
Go Mingle, I like Go Mingle.
Well, go Mingle is like, I feel like it's close to Christian Mingle or some shit.
Not close to Christian Mingle. Tumblr.
Tumblr's tight, actually, because you know.
So anyway, this is Shawn Boston's e-boy poem that he posts. You'll be a prisoner to parking prices, politics, P-word, and poetry.
That's so beautiful.
So actually, it's like, and that's poetry. There we go.
Oh, Hegel. Oh, hey, girl. Oh, Hegel.
Okay, so I wrote the shortest description of Chicago. Huge city, good public transit, lots of food variety, corrupt politicians, hit or miss school system.
What's the description for Buffalo? Yeah, Chicago is slacking compared to LA and Buffalo.
Well, that's because I was just writing down what you guys said for those things and interjecting my thoughts. Chicago, let's see, lots of festivals, lots of places to
I love how you
sell
just took this
your
over.
stuff.
Because Gray and I were talking for a bit, and you were just like, "Fuck
Yeah,
it,
so
we
I
have
was
to
like,
actually
I'm
write
gonna be
something down."
productive. Don't be philosophical. Let me do our work.
If y'all are curious about the Gray and Gold podcast, it's basically that. It's us going on different tangents. We move forward like Lego blocks snapping together. That whole song was awesome. Just thinking about that.
Oh, definitely.
ARMP to the T. What is that? You smell a dog? No, that's me. I don't take showers and I don't brush my teeth because all I do is dig holes, eat, and sleep. I just remember the one kid with the glasses. He came in with such a level of actually being a rapper energy compared to everyone else. Like Shia LaBeouf was clearly just like, "Oh yeah, I'll do it. I'm cool," and so he did it. Zero was singing. Armpit came in with the humor, and then the guy with the glasses, he just came in with like the "Yo, by the way, I actually rap" sort of energy.
Yeah, I watched Holes not that long ago. That movie's great.
Such a great movie.
The book was great too.
I didn't realize that was a man's name. It ain't. Also, I've seen the doctor or doc in quite a few shows ever in movies since then. And he's always playing like the same character.
All right. So, how does Rick perceive Buffalo?
It's all right.
Okay, wait. Talk to me in Rick's voice, and I'll write it down.
It's all right, I guess. I mean, it could be worse, could be better. I just get to do my thing. I just get to play some Xbox, play some drums, chill in my room. No one complains. Neighbors are okay. Neighbor always takes her black cat out like it's a dog and takes it for a walk. Don't quite understand that, but whatever. Streets could be worse. I hate how the lights seem to never work. People think they're a lot more polite than they are. I hate how no one understands how to drive through a traffic circle. Why do you have a Confederate flag? New York was with the Union.
Nice.
Thank
what kind
you.
of apartment complexes does Buffalo? Because Rick lives in an apartment complex with his grandpa. Yeah.
Yeah, there are some nice condos by the river, but he's definitely going to live in some not horrible. Probably, I'll put. You know what? We'll put him in Allentown because Allentown is like, it's like the gay name. Like, and I'm not saying this. Like, it's been known for basically being like super gay always. Like the sidewalks have rainbow flags painted on them. We'll put him there. There's this one guy who lives there who is always, I think, tripping on acid.
Rick's grandpa's gay. I just decided it right now.
And he's above a what's it called? A gym stakeout. It's a steak. It's a sub place that everyone goes when they're really drunk. And he lives above it. And all he does is just sit in his window all day in the summer and just hold like a bubble wand in front of a fan. And he actually automated it so it dips and goes up and it's constantly blowing bubbles into the street. He'll live around there.
Okay. Rick lives near the guy who's on acid who lives above the sub place. But Rick lives in a complex with 6 floors and a basement.
Where they do laundry.
The basement has a laundry room, a vending machine, and a secret room that's soundproof where he practices his drums. And his grandpa is hella gay.
And he's also wondering why there's a soundproof room in an apartment and how many people have been murdered there.
Sometimes he wonders how many people have been murdered in this soundproof room in the apartment building.
He also is the only one that has a key, with the exception of a landlord, so no one steals his drum.
Rick and the landlord are the only ones who have a key. Rick's landlord is named Sven. Sven is buff and blonde like a surfer. He's also 70. Grandpa wants to fuck Sven.
How far are we, by the way?
Like halfway. Okay, so that's how Rick perceives Buffalo. Lindsay, Chicago, and Shawn, LA, Indiana.
ARMP to the T. What is that? You smell a dog? No, that's me.
Yep, Sven is a buff 70-year-old. Exactly. Yes, Rick's landlord, Sven is buff and blonde. He's like a blonde surfer dude, but he's 70, but he still bleaches his gray hair.
I love Sven.
Bleaches his
He's about
hair.
to steal the show as a side character.
Yeah. I love that. We came up with this dude like 5 seconds ago. But Sven and Grandpa have a romantic subplot in the very background if you squint.
Yeah, Sven's from California.
I just decided Rick's grandpa was gay like 5 seconds ago. I hope you're okay with that.
I mean, what happened to Grandma? Maybe Grandma was gay too. Maybe that's why it didn't work out.
Grandma was also gay. She left Grandpa for another woman back in 1980.
But they're still on good terms because he understands because he's also gay.
They're still on good terms, or they were, but Grandma's dead now.
Eva saying bye, Erasure, let him be bye.
Grandpa is actually bi, but bi erasure was so strong in his time and even still is today. So he lies to Sven and tells him he's just gay because Sven has internalized biphobia, which makes him insecure that a man will leave him for a woman because it's what his first husband did to him back in 1978.
And then Rick's grandpa is like, I understand. I had a woman leave me for a woman. And they bond over it when it's revealed.
Grandpa was like, Sven, I understand my wife, Rick's grandma, left me for another woman who was a motorcycle lesbian of all things. So I get it, bro. And Sven was like, finally someone understands. And then they made out in the laundry room in the basement. And they made
Rick
out
was drumming in the
intensely that they bumped into the vending machine and knocked all the bags of Cheez-Its loose. And Rick was drumming in the silent room next door. And
You're having so much fun with this.
Guys, who needs Athena's butt sharpies? This is way better. You can have
Poor
fun
Athena. Poor Athena. We have really treated her like
oh my god, I
last
feel like I'm gonna vomit. I laughed way too hard. I feel nauseous.
I'm getting hungry.
Me too, dude. Okay, well,
how much further do we have? I want to eat food.
It's just a fucking breakthrough. I wonder, we should have a spin-off about Rick's grandma and his motorcycle lesbian step grandma.
What if we finish this next week? What if we just do preview right now, save that, and then we finish this next week and we both eat?
That's fair. Yeah, we could do that. Yeah, I also need to edit some videos, so there's that.
Yeah,
Dude,
because
this
we had a special guest appearance today. I'm sort of starving right now.
Okay, so settings.
It has been.
I feel like we got a lot of good shit out of this, even though it's barely sensical. Dude, we have 28 pages worth of this story so far.
You know what we
And
should
it's
do? We
all
should absolutely add that in the book. We should add that as back matter in the book.
Oh, our whole outline with all of this?
Or like parts of it, maybe. Yeah, we could just say in the book. By the way, this is a lot of back matter. No, we don't have to.
How Rick perceives Buffalo. It's all right, I guess. I mean, it could be worse, could be better. I play some Xbox. I play some drums. I chill in my room. No one complains. Neighbor takes her black cat out like it's a dog. Takes it out on a walk. Lights never seem to work. People think they're more polite how they are. I hate how no one understands how to drive through a traffic circle. Why do you have a Confederate flag? New York was in the Union. Rick lives in a not horrible Allentown, super gay neighborhood because his grandpa is gay. Rick lives near the guy who's on acid who lives above the sub place, but Rick lives in a complex with 6 floors and a basement. The basement has a laundry room, a vending machine, and a secret room that's soundproof where he practices his drums. His grandpa is hella gay. Sometimes he wonders how many people have been murdered in the soundproof room in the apartment building. Rick and the landlord are the only ones who have the key. Rick's landlord is Sven. Sven is buff and blonde like a surfer. He's also 70. He bleaches his gray hair. Grandpa wants to fuck Sven. Grandpa and Sven have a romantic subplot in the very background. If you
Going from romantic subplot to just a hardcore makeout session.
Grandma was also gay. She left Grandpa for another woman back in 1980. They're still on good terms than they were, but Grandma's dead now. Grandpa is actually bi, but bi erasure was so strong in his time and even still is today, so he lies to Sven and tells him he's just gay because Sven has internalized biphobia, which makes him insecure that a man will leave him for a woman because it's what his first husband did back to him back in 1978. But Grandpa was like, Sven, I understand. My wife, Rick's grandma, left me for another woman who was a motorcycle lesbian of all things. So I get it, bro. And Sven was like, finally, someone understands. And then they made out in the laundry room in the basement. And they made out so intense that they bumped into the vending machine and knocked the bags of Cheez-Its loose. And Rick was drumming in the silent room next door and had no idea.
I love it. I think it's beautiful.
That's how you do setting, people. So if anyone,
I mean, we know so much of the setting now from the character.
Honestly, I feel like that's how I feel like I could go into Rick's apartment building. I could walk right in and know where everything is.
It's beautiful. Y'all, thanks for stopping by. We're going to eat.
Yeah, thanks for being on the stream today. We will
be back midnight Eastern.
Is Rick's grandpa on Grindr?
Yeah.
Eva's mom wants Rick's grandpa's number.
It's 716 because that's the Buffalo area code, and then whatever you want follows.
No, Rick's room's not in the basement. There's just an empty storage room in the basement that is fairly soundproof, so he puts his drum set there so that he doesn't disturb the neighbors when he's drumming.
Yeah, because he got too many complaints. Fucking Rick.
Yep. All right, well, everyone, thanks for being here today. We're going to go eat lunch and do other shit, but be back on our case channel tonight at midnight Eastern, 11 p.m. Central, where we will be doing Fan Fiction Friday and writing once again. So,
Sage, Sako, and Keelan will all be there.
Bonnie, I have not yet decided if Grandpa is going to lie to Sven or not, because who knows?
He will.
Who knows? He'll lie to him at first, and then maybe the truth will
create
come
some
out.
intrigue.
I'm
secretly into women.
It's got to come out as being into the opposite gender. That's wild. But it happens,
right,
y'all.
We love y'all.
Love you guys. See y'all tonight. Bye, friends.